Good evening, everybody, and would you look at that? We've got another scene for everybody. Welcome on into another episode of the Elendor Chronicles, brought to you by the Component Cast. Before we get on with tonight's episode, we do have a few things that we need to cover. The first of which is the fact that we are not going to be live next week. So, just as a note, we are going to be missing a session next week, but we will be back as soon as we can after that, and hopefully the week after. I don't think there's anything that's going to be stopping us right now. Fingers crossed, touch wood, everybody touch wood, that we can come back for a session. But you know, this is D&D, and sessions are made to be cancelled. But also other things we've got to cover for tonight's broadcast. A couple of little things, one of which being if you want to support the show, best way to do so is becoming a Twitch sub or by joining us over on Patreon. Patreon gives us the biggest slice of the pie and, you know, helps us continue to grow and helps us put on other shows like this one. And segueing slightly into other shows like this one and other things published kind of in adjacency to the Component Cast, I've just launched a new podcast with my good friend Lionheart X10. We whilst not using any Component Cast funding, just the brand name to get on all of the distribution. It's complicated, but anyway, if you like content creation or just like hearing two British people talk about an industry you might not know about, why not check it out? It's called Upload, the Content Creator Podcast. Just put in Upload wherever you get podcasts. And speaking of which, you can get all of the Component Cast's podcasts also on those platforms. Wherever you find your podcasts, whether that be Podbean, Podchaser, Apple Pod, Amazon Podcast, YouTube Podcast, Apple Play. I believe we're also on Alexa devices now, which is really cool. But yeah, if you have a podcast, there is podcast formats of all of our shows in various podcast like what they call feeds. Elendor Chronicles has its own feed. Lancer has its own feed. All of our specials have their own feeds. X shows have their own feeds. It's all up to date and all wild, so go check it out. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on with tonight's episode. So, would anyone like to do the recap, or shall I cover it this week?
I got it. Why not?
Go for it.
Many months ago, before this campaign even really got started, some lunatic decided that he was going to try to recreate and rebirth the world through the power of a phoenix. And that ritual and the power that came to it was instilled into my character, Ruby, so long ago. And now, so many months later, bringing us back to the present, Ruby has came to the conclusion that it was time to finally deal with the fire that had been lurking within her soul for so long. She told her group of the issue and said, we need to go somewhere away from everything because this is going to be explosive, and where we could finally throw down with this avatar of Caloris. She revealed her ability to teleport, finally, not just circles, but to actually teleport. I feel like the actually is important there. Got us to Atria, caught ourselves a fantasy space cab, dragon cab, wyvern cab. They're wyverns, right? Drake adjacent.
They were Drake adjacent. Drake adjacent is a good. Listen, I think they were dactyl, so it was like pterodactyls.
Drake adjacent fantasy cab, got to a secluded mountain hole that probably used to belong to a white dragon from a long time ago. And that's where the battle went down. And it was harrowing. It was, what do I even call? Heated. Screw you, I'm funny. But in the end, the Avatar of Colores fell between the combined might of Ruby, Valymr, Breton, and an older friend, some of the cast might recognize as Zedaar. It was rough, but at the end, Ruby was choking / shocking the life out of the Avatar of Colores. Her attempts to reason with it proving ineffective. And I think that's where we left off, is right after the Avatar of Colores blew up. Aeryd was still holding up a 1, indicating the amount of HP most of us had when it was done.
Yes, we left off with the tower that you had found your battleground, erupting in a flashover of flame as the last essence of the Avatar Colores was exhumed from existence, leaving only behind a small glittering of dust, of ashes, that Ruby, where you had your hands firmly around this entity's, what would have been this entity's sort of throat area, your hands now are being smattered with just a twinkling of dust, of ash, and in that ash-laden hands, once where the lightning flew from, you see the ashes starting to solidify and form an object. And using some of the energy of that lightning and the magic aura within yourself, the ashes form around your hands, and in your hands, an ashen feather emerges. The rest of you find yourselves also covered in like various layer of ash and soot, and like it's like you've just cleaned a chimney. For the rest of you, it's like you're just like, cool, blimey, governor, sort of like level of, hello, Mrs. Poppins, levels of soot just like covering you at this point.
Please, sir, can I have some XP?
Valymr, never before has a paladin wanted more. That didn't fit, damn. As a pal wanted more would have been better. But anyway.
Ruby's gasping as she is burned from head to toe, though it is starting to heal over. She looks like she has taken a serious beating, and she's crying. Something akin to repeating, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I couldn't save you." And for the first time in any time, she is going to whisper out a prayer.
Okay, what do you pray?
I don't know who can hear me right now. I don't know if my words are going to anybody except to the sadness left inside this void that is in my heart. But nobody deserved this. She didn't choose this path. And just as I didn't choose this, she deserved better. And I don't know, Soul Rayla or the king that never was, or bloody Tiamat herself, I don't care. She deserved better than this. So whoever takes her from here, give her a chance. Show her a path I couldn't. She deserves that at least.
And with your prayer, the ashen feather begins to glow of a vibrant blue flame as it burns up around it, revealing from the ash a feather of pure white, the purest of white, even as the dinge of almost volcanic ash that would stain any skin, any normal surface. This is just a bristling light, and it's almost like if you were to look at it, there would be an invisible flame surround it, like, I don't know if you've ever seen those invisible fires where only in darkness you can see them. Oh,
I think your word for it, though.
yeah. There's just like a hue in the atmosphere around this feather where it's rippling like flame, but there's just completely colorless to it. And then the flame fades, and the feather turns to a bristling orange, the color of a true phoenix feather, much like the one you've had in your inventory for spell casting. And for now it seems inert, with the energy that remained from that fragment of Coloris, that fragment of you that was corrupted by nature. Not necessarily by nurture, but by nature. Dissipates, hoping to be caught by something in the beyond. For its time on Elendor has passed, but yours is far from over. So, you all now stand in the tower. Some of you hurt. Some of you hurt more than others. What do the other two of you do whilst Anrayne Ruby is doing this?
How is Zedaar looking? Combat tracker has him on 0 HP. Did he have Death Ward on, or?
Nope.
No.
Zedaar is unconscious.
As soon as the fire and I see him go down, I would rush over to him to throw some healing on him.
Sure.
I can actually do that, I think, with the combat tracker.
You can definitely do so.
Oh, that's temporary hit points. Balls. That's not the wrong one.
You can have lay on hands.
Yeah, I'll give him some lay on hands.
Okay.
And then after he's up, I'm gonna start doing a prayer of healing. For the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna be just sat down chanting away, so that we all get 2d8 plus 5.
What's Breton doing in this moment? Zedaar, I'm guessing, is coughing himself awake, so I ask Breton.
Yeah. I think Breton is just kind of standing. I mean, he's just kind of letting Ruby do her thing. This is a moment where she needs her closure, so she's just kind of letting her get through it. Not really anything he can say in this moment to just help with that, I'm afraid.
No, absolutely. That's fine. Ever vigil, ever watching, Breton.
That 2d8 plus 5 was 7.
That's 2 natural ones, right?
Yeah. Yep. Fucking useless dice.
Lord Lambert, your Will Wheaton's got nothing on your rolls.
Absolutely nothing. I did also do Hexblade's Curse on the Avatar, so I would, when it dies, I heal 11 myself.
Sure, absolutely. Ruby, You feel in your moments of prayer for a moment a tap on your shoulder. Not of anyone around you, but Sol.
Sure.
And
wipe her face off with the soot, just end up smearing it, I'm sure, so she looks pretty
yeah,
awful.
no, you begin to wipe your face, and as you do so, you're no longer in the tower. You seem to be in that cloud-like layer where Brala and Sol first met. And standing before you is you. The other part of you. Sol. The manifestation of Brala's care that was given to you while you healed. Well, I think you've done it, Ruby. I think it's time I be getting back too.
We did it. You know, I've been trying to figure out for the longest time why I was picked for this destiny, this fate by Brayla to be healed. For a prophecy I had no idea existed until well after the fact. And I only have to assume that there is a plan. And that you were a part of it.
I was. And you're going to have to get used to using that vernacular again. I've always been, whilst not in personality, I've always been you, and a part of your strength. Yes, you needed some time to heal after everything being so cataclysmic, but you got there in the end. And because I'm you, I'm always going to be there. She's always going to be there, looking now at the feather still in your hand. If you want Brala's love, that will be there if you wish to forge your own path. Or not. But your strength no longer requires my protection. Not entirely.
You gave me a chance to be better. Better than that wild, ill-tempered girl I was before. And she'll hold out the feather towards Sol.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give her the same chance? However long it takes.
Ruby, you already have. And Sol takes the feather in that moment and dissipates with a smile. And in one final act, a hug before her energy just turns to light around you. and the clouds fade, and you find yourself still on your knees on the ground, that feather now gone.
Farewell, Saul. Holy crap, I have wings. She looks over her shoulder at the beautiful, I'm sure, blue and yellow, blue and golden wings. How... Mine end up, flapping Breton a little bit, the face full of... Sorry, this is new.
Yeah.
She'll turn to Breton, though, and smile. More damage than that in the bedroom, huh?
Just purses his lips, kind of, to be fair, that was not said in character.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that was an out of character comment. That was never actually said.
Oh, I thought that was in character.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I feel like that does fit, though.
So how are you feeling?
I feel like it's just you and me now. Nobody else. Not to say that Valymr doesn't count. No. Sorry, I didn't mean to imply that, but there's nobody else here. There's no Caloris, there's no Soul. I'm not even sure if Ruby's the same anymore. If I'm the same anymore. But I think this has been long overdue.
Well, change is something that happens to everything, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
I gave Caloris's essence back to Sol and Brayla. And maybe, just maybe, a phoenix doesn't have to be a symbol of burning things anymore.
Well, you did sort of set out to basically change the very nature of fire into being something that's not hot, but I suppose enough time and effort, most anything's possible. If you couldn't do it, there might be a chance of something in the future. Everything changes. Everything. Eventually.
Thank you for being there always for me.
I don't know about always. In spirit, certainly. But, yeah.
She'll give him a big ol' hug. And cast prestidigitation on both of them. Set off!
She's going to get 70 points of lay on hands when she's hugging him.
The down in her feathers regenerates.
At which point Zedaar is also going to, because Zedaar's been sitting here doing this, he's going to put out, I need to remember how much of this he can do. I think it's 60 points when he channel divinities. And he can do that twice more because he can recover one channel. He has one free channel divinity a day. So 60 divided amongst the four of us is what? 24 points each.
I could also do another prayer and give us another 7 because you know, no, that was embarrassing. I'm doing that again.
Zedaar will give everybody back 24 points of healing, and
Ruby's back to full.
Yeah, and Breton will just heal Ruby to full because that is his jam.
She was pretty hurt. She was at, out of 118 HP, I had 99 wounds.
How much did you say I got there?
24.
24. Nice. Thank you very much. That puts me at... I have taken 49 That's fine.
I'm having a weird issue on my character sheet right now where I'm not seeing the little bubbles that show me like spell slots and channel divinity and stuff is all blending into the dark mode, so I can't see any of it.
Yeah, I got the same problem.
So I think there may have been an update on Fantasy Grounds that borked dark mode, unfortunately.
I don't have that problem.
Try flicking the mode at the bottom of your character sheet.
Preparation, combat, standard.
No,
yeah,
that didn't do anything.
That's a shame.
I mean, I could in preparation, I could still see it, but
Yeah.
slots, but not how much I actually have. Yeah, no, I'm out too.
No, if I look really closely, I can see the bubbles are
Oh.
still there. It's just that the bubbles have the bubbles are black now instead of white, so they
Mm.
blend in on the gray really bad.
Okay, let me
But you
let,
know-
me let me
I
restart
understand
the
what you
fantasy-
mean, and I have.
I'm
I
gonna
have that as
restart
well.
the fantasy grounds with a different texture and see if we can get those seen.
Okay.
But
The Darius
Um,
healed.
Zedaar? Valymr?
Yes.
That's me.
Thank you.
Anytime.
I don't.
You offered me the chance to work with you to fight against a being beyond time. How could I very well refuse? I could have said no, but that wouldn't be very kosher.
Is that a draconic word?
Do you not speak this word?
I don't speak draconic. No.
I guess the closest translation would be to right with oneself.
You know, I think that's how I actually feel right now.
Good word to learn then.
I am kosher.
It's a really stupid joke.
yeah, that's
Title of the episode, though, it works.
okay.
I don't feel chorus in there anymore. I feel a lingering essence of soul. And I feel all right. Like I did the right thing finally.
We were always working towards the right thing. It's just you finally had an opportunity to make it work.
Also, I can fly now, and she just kind of. Oh, okay. I
Gonna need to practice. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I need to practice this for a little bit. And she's
Probably gonna have to
fl-
fix your armor too, because
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, her armor probably got shracked.
Well, yeah, you
The
just
back-
bamped out your wings without fixing the armor, so that armor needs fixing now. Just
I imagine it's
repairing.
tatters, and Breton is probably just unclasped his cloak and just kind of tossed it at her. I don't think her armor was destroyed, but it's the thing where it's just it's probably pretty cold too. I imagine.
Have you any more of that did you what's it's going around? I like to be
Prestidigitation.
purple again.
Yeah. Sorry. And she'll clean everybody up.
yeah, no worries. Game's back up, by the way, everybody. And I'm just doing something. Hello.
I can get us home tomorrow. Zedaar, I guess you want to go back to Atria.
I was thinking that I might actually stick with the Legrungsland. It's been a few months since I left Joanna, and truth be told, I would like to check in on her, see how things are going. I did leave her education sort of in the lurch to help you all with the Vistilian theocracy.
Okay. Whoa. Oh, there it goes.
And as soon as we get back in the server, I can tell you whether or not Zedaar can get us back to Lakeland's Land today.
Yeah, it should be up, so hopefully we'll be reconnected in a moment. But
I can see the spell slots now.
hey, there we go. I put it into grey mode rather than light mode or dark mode. So
Yeah.
It's the pile of shame color.
yes, it is unpainted miniature color grey. It is that sort of fresh resin grey. Not that anyone at home can see that right now, because. But so you all dust yourself off. You all clean up. You prepare yourselves and now take stock whether you need to, if you can bamf back in one day, or if you can, or if you need to spend the night. But
with this being like an abandoned dragon's horde place, is there any like abandoned dragon's horde gold anywhere?
I mean, you can certainly have a look around.
It's not melted.
I would certainly like to have a look around.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
16. Not bad.
As you search around the ruins and now you've got a better scope of the hold. Now you've had a look around this tower a bit more. It seems there was a couple of like crates, etc., that were absolutely shredded by the inferno that's just happened. But outside of that, you think this place has been picked pretty dry by Atria at some point, either when this was rediscovered or put into disrepair. And a cursory investigation doesn't give you much outside of, yes, somebody has left an offering that is 5 copper near the frozen door. It's like,
I'll leave that there.
Yeah, it's not.
Out of curiosity, is there any volcanic glass from the fire, like melted rock or melted, like specifically looks like sandy glass?
Sandy glass. I wouldn't say so. I don't think it would have been the right type of geology for that.
Sure.
Um,
I'm looking for plasmified rock that's cooled.
Make a quick perception check.
I keep forgetting skills. There it is. Huh. 6.
6. No, it's mostly soot-covered stonework, etc. You get the you get the impression that this is the wrong type of rock to form like a glass. Doesn't seem to be innately igneous rock. At least in this room. And whilst it was hot in here, it didn't quite get to lava change the structure of this rock.
Okay.
You also maybe get the impression that if this was a white dragon, they might have done a lot to reduce the amount that fire could do here.
Sure.
Zedaar will say,
So I can't get us home, but at the very least, I can fix a bit of the problem we're having.
apparently I have not healed Zedaar. Zedaar should be at...
If you give me a few moments, I can solve the entire problem, which I realize I should have done yesterday when we were trying to figure out how to stay warm.
I was going to say, Zedaar's going to just heal some more, because I do have a lot of spell slots left. He's going to cast Beacon of Hope, just to give everybody max healing now, and then he's going to give out max Cure Wounds at 6th level, which is going to heal 45 hit points to everyone.
And Ruby is going to start ritually casting Leoman's Tiny Hut.
Nice.
So,
just so we can stay warm and temperate.
Yep. Cool.
So it's 45 plus more than 45.
No, it's just 45.
Okay.
Because the 45 is the mass cure wounds maximized.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll lay on hands my final 4, so I'm at max.
Anyway.
All of this, and Breton is barely back above bloody.
He's an absolute tank.
Sure.
Well, his hit points aren't even that high compared to everyone else's. Apparently, Valymr shot up and almost caught up with him, but it's more of a he was taking half of Ruby's beating too.
Ruby is
My
going to.
last level up was ASI, and I put both into con. It helped. It helped a lot.
Ruby is going to walk over to Breton, and fire will form around her fingers as she's going to reach out and cast Cure Wounds at 4th level on him.
Look at
It's
that.
like being
you can
wrapped
all
up.
Heal.
It's like being wrapped up in a hug.
Well, damn, I guess fire can heal then, huh?
Oh, do I have... Oops. I just healed
Heal the Avatar of Dolores.
Shit! The boss music's just restarted.
Just
Beacon of Hope is still up, so you don't need to roll. It's just
I'm gonna roll, was it 48?
Cure Wounds at 4th. Well, no, you don't need to roll because it's Beacon of Hope.
Beacon of Hope, so max healing right now.
So Cure Wounds at 4th level is 4d8 plus 5, so it's 37 points of healing.
You just start hearing Barracuda in the background as the Avatar of Dolores starts again. I come from the land of the action stuff.
That's not Barracuda.
Isn't it? I swear it is. No. Yeah, I'm sorry, I got the wrong one. No, I am right. Yeah, so you are right. Sorry, brain. My brain has been so foggy.
That's Immigrant by Led Zeppelin.
It is Immigrant. You're right. Christ. So yeah, my brain has been so foggy. This is just a side tangent. I've had such So there's been illness that went around my house, and my folks got it really badly. I didn't. I got it as like a level of malaise where I just like for 2 hours a day feel awful. But I've had the worst brain fog. Like more brain fog than I normally have. I already have an innate level of brain fog, but it's like levels of I walk downstairs with a set of keys in my hand when I meant to bring like a cup downstairs. And I'm like,
I spent half an hour yesterday looking for a dustpan just to realize it was attached to the end of the broom I was holding.
Yeah. That's a good level. That's a good level right there. Anyway.
Is Breton healed?
Everyone is healed.
I think
yeah.
Either way, after the long rest you're about to have in the Liam's tiny hut, I think he will be fine anyway. But you all settle down.
Just in case some goblin decides to try and fuck around and find out.
I think any goblin that may have just witnessed what happened has just essentially found its own new gods. At this point, they're like, what? Just changed their world. Anyway, you all settled down. You rested off. I'm going to roll and give you all a long rest. Long resting all of the party, and apparently they're also long rested the Avatar of Dolores. Boss music starts again. So I didn't talk about the
Nani the fuck?
But she's removed from the combat tracker. No, that's done. I'm sorry, got that. Good. And boom, the Lehman's tiny hut fades. What would you like to do, guys?
Back to Laken's Land, I suppose. We'll see how the Iron Duke is handling with what he has to do. He'll probably be busy for a while.
Okay.
Either that, or we make our way to the Dwarf Lands. See if we can start hunting down one of these other forges.
Well, we can get Zedaar back to Laken's Land.
I thought it was the forge was in Lagan's Land. We were going to go to a dwarf place to find Priest of Indar, or yeah.
It was. He speculated there was more than one forge, and if the other one would have been within the dwarf lands, and that may have been the first one that he made. There may have been more information or even material that maybe could have been found there.
Okay.
I don't have a teleportation circle there, unfortunately.
We can use the Sky Show.
I mean, that is the next nation over from where you are right now. You are in Atria.
Pretty close to it.
You are in Atria right now.
I'm sure they won't mind a dragon flying overhead.
I mean, you'd have to travel through, but I'm done to get there. along the coast road, and I mean,
Last we checked, the relations between the Atrians and them were fairly sour due to the Civil War.
mhm.
So it's-
We knew. Who was it that? Was there a representative from?
The Tsardom.
There? Yeah.
Yeah.
There was, because there was basically a representative from everywhere. In fact, I think there were 2 representatives from the Tsardom representing both sides of the Civil War.
Yep. You set an open letter and essentially you recognized a government.
Whoopsie.
So I'm sure we've made that situation just 1,000 times better.
Yep. And from what
The
you,
Free
if to
Guildsman
just
Republic.
to also point out, the Freed's Guildsman Republic members didn't make it out.
Oh.
So we
how-
did
how-
the Tsardom a favor.
So we created the problem and then fixed the
But
problem.
the Tsarina made it out. Yeah.
Okay. But if we wanted to send a sending, we know exactly, like, we've got the whole, we know who to talk to thing.
You could possibly send to one of the members of the word failing, one of the members of the people that came to the summit. Why is ambassadorial thing? What's it?
Well, the delegation?
Delegation. Thank you so much. My brain was. It's got to be that kind of day today. But yes, you could reach out to one member of the delegation and possibly get yourself in there.
Well, I can get back to Leghorn's land by myself, so you don't have to worry about getting me anywhere. And if you all want to come to Leghorn's land first, I can get you all there, so you don't have to waste the whole day just, waiting around so that you can get somewhere else.
Yeah,
That'd be
probably
very
work.
nice of you. Yeah. If anything, I'm sure the Iron Duke has a sequence for the Tsardom.
Sure. Well, any last fond farewells we need to say?
Thank you for coming. We appreciate it.
We're going with him, Valymr.
Yeah, but that's like, oh, the fun farewells to here? Oh, fuck this place.
Yeah, see, many of the ancient caves are beautiful, and this one, it may have been an exception before we burned it to the ground, kind of, but honestly, this place is a bit of a shithole. Not all ancient ruins are beautiful, I'm afraid to say.
Also, white dragons are like evil, so I mean, at the end of the day, this isn't one of the ones that should be revered.
If we have learned anything, it is creatures of that persuasion are not evil, they are misguided.
Well, let's leave this horrible, misguided home.
Okay. So you're going to Leghorn's land as a group?
Yeah.
I believe so. I believe Zedaar is going to use the same thing he got them there in the first time. He's going to word of recall.
Okay. So, as Zedaar mouths a small prayer to the Platinum Dragon, you all found yourselves taken, dragged across the continent to find yourselves in the main church within Rishin, at the altar to the Platinum Dragon. In one of its sides, it's like what's it called? Alcoves in its own little chapel. It's a humble little room. It's probably one of the bigger of the side chapels, but it's it's the thing about the religious worship in Rishin. It's more practical. It's not as flamboyant as it is in other places. So this, has an altar, has a shrine, has places to give offerings, it has statues, but it's not like massive stained glass, giant mosaics, no flowing water. It's just kind of humble. But in the flickering silver light of the room, you find yourselves returned. You've gone back jet lag wise, so
Yeah, we traveled there. We were there for 4 hours, then we went back. So, truth be told, I think we've canceled
No,
our
'cause
jet
you
lag
camp-
because now we're
you-
just back.
You camped before you fought,
We camped before we stopped.
and you've just camped after as well. So it's been about a day and a half ish. And
Not long enough to
you
worry
went-
about jet lag too much.
Yeah, you went forward before, and now you've come back. So it is now essentially the same. It's about the same time as you went to sleep in Atria. You have now appeared in Lagerong's land. Time zone and date wise. It's important for the calendar. So, let's say it is a slightly wet afternoon in Lagerong's land. There is, you hear on the lead roof of the cathedral, like the of rain.
Ruby's happy is turning around with wings out of her back.
The pitter patter. I believe you can hide your wings, can't you?
She's learning how.
I see.
Imagine.
I see. I was gonna say. Also.
She's gonna close her eyes for a moment. I get him.
Yeah.
All right, good.
One's in, one's out.
Hold on. All right, I think we're good.
That's gonna take some getting used to.
She just stares at him. Really? You don't say.
They're not like fragile, are they? The future. If I'm standing behind you and you turn the wrong way, I feel like I'm gonna break something.
I should be okay. Made of the same stuff I am. So if you think I'm fragile, well,
No.
okay. She grins and winks at him. Oh, Zedaar, do you still have that shrine that Zepp and I helped make for you? Or is that on, did you take that with you, or?
I left that with you all, so you had the place to pray to Bahamut. What happened to it?
Oh, that's awkward. It went down with the ship.
The ship went down?
None of you have told him yet.
I thought you had heard of what happened at the second summit.
What happened at the second summit?
Oh, that's an awkward conversation we need to have over a few pints of ale. Let's put a pin in that. We'll come back to it. Let's go. Oh, the Iron Duke will let him know what happened. I guess it's not really relevant to him. We should just go get ale.
Okay.
Beer?
You're
Beer.
gonna have to fill him in on anything because nobody ropes Zedaar into what happened with all that.
And if they go to a tavern, what time of day is it?
It's like early evening. It's probably like 3 p.m., 4 p.m. Like
We'll go have dinner, and she'll explain what happened.
Mhm.
How the ship went down due to a massive dragon that, admittedly, was kind of awesome how we fought it, and yeah, it was a thing.
I leave you all alone for 5 minutes and...
Oh no, there's several times when he could have used you as a dragon person to deal with the dragons.
I mean, I just speak the language. I don't know what you think I could do about that better than anyone else.
Hey, you know what? After seeing what you did to intimidate those people with the prayer of Bahamut at Redberry, like, I just know you can do stuff. You're guided by a
Those
god.
who live in sin know the fear, the word of the absolute.
I feel like I've heard this before.
Wait,
somewhere.
hold up. What?
This is still down, down, down. Ah, shit.
You find yourselves, by the way, in what's it's like a dive bar, but it's a renovated cellar, and it's called beer keller. So it means beer cellar. And it's just like long tables, there's a couple of little alcove booths, and I'm guessing you would have found one of those. But it's just like you pay for entry, and beers are just brought to you.
She will explain to him.
And they're in jars like that.
Oh yeah. She will explain to Zedaar what happened at the second summit, how it came about, what ended up happening afterwards, the trip to she's gonna call it heaven on high at this point, because that's what it basically was to her. Where they went to the Shattered Isles and got time dilated and ended up in wherever the hell that was, and
Oh yeah, Summertass.
she's gonna call it heaven on high because it's the only way she knows for it. Because she was high. She swore she was high when she was there, because it was a trip.
Yeah, you've never found the name of that city.
And
Okay. Well, it's good to see that you all continue to get up to every source of shenanigans that you can get up to. Good talk. Good talk. So reforging the seals, okay.
what we're trying to do, though I still think it's just a stopgap.
Well, with everything I've learned and you've told me about the seals, the prophecy and everything about it, the way it is told, makes it seem like it doesn't really matter what you do to stop it. It is a inevitability.
We can change the direction.
Has it been considered that it is something that is being misinterpreted?
We've gone into the what ifs, and at the end of the day, we can't fight with them forever. A decision eventually has to be made, and we've made the best that we can with what we knew.
I'm saying it speaks this way of the girl and the world and the changes, but it finishes with this girl walking in a new world. Some call that an ending, but some might just call that change.
Yeah, a lot of the prophecy seems to think it involves Joanna. That's our best guess.
I would have guessed that, yes.
But she's been fairly well secluded in Reshin since we got her back. She was very present, or briefly present, at the second summit, but the moment, and I don't know the dragon's name off the top of my head.
Zethacrest, wasn't it?
No, that's the big one.
Zethacrest was the yellow one, I thought.
Xenopharius, then,
Xenopharius.
potentially?
That's the ultimate bad. Zethacrest was the amber or the topaz dragon. It was the umbral void obsidian dragon.
That was it was no,
You
because
fought
Zethacrest is
Amethyst
the
one
leader.
most recently. The
Yeah,
one
that
the
was
Amethyst one.
Zeomanoth. Sorry, I pride myself on pronouncing difficult to pronounce words. This word is, I'm going to spell it for everyone at home. Xeommenoth. Like, I'm going to need to practice that one to get it right. That was the one that we faced on the Isle.
Zememenoth.
Zemimnoth. That's sure sounds close
That's the
to right.
spelling I have for him.
Zeomanoth. Zeomnoth, yeah, Zeomnoth. And Xenopharius,
So that was Zeomnoth. Xenopharius was the one we encountered on the airship the first time.
Yeah.
So that leaves Zethacrest
As the
Zug.
big bad bastard.
and
Yeah.
Zendiestios. 3 dragons left.
Yeah. And no sign of them so far. I also know that the Eladrin Empire and the Rian are getting ready to muster their forces to attack the island to the north. I don't remember the name of that one.
That started happening before we went to the Bullshit Time Islands, so it might be the case that they've already started off on that journey. Maybe so. Maybe a good idea to do a sending, check in on someone who's going, see how it's turned out.
The more we learn about that, and the more we learn about the dragon that got away from the Vistilian theocracy, I would put money on there being another one of those dragons there.
We still have our goal, though. We need to find the forge. We can't get distracted, and the best place to do that is the Sodom. So we need some sort of diplomatic entry into the Sodom. We might be able to give a message to the Tsarina. They vaguely know us. Or we can appeal to the Iron Duke, and he might be able to arrange something. I think the Iron Duke is the best bet there.
I think talking to the Iron Duke is a good bet and see what progress he has made on his own forge.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to put your point. Obviously, finding what we can about the forges is important, but any opportunity we find to take down one of these dragons, we should look to take it. And
I agree.
if these dragons up there prove to be more than a match for the combined forces of the Eladrin and the Rien, they're going to be crippled going into a time where they are needed the most to protect their lands.
You think we should put the forges on hold, Breton?
I think the forges are going to be there indefinitely. They've been there for thousands of years. They'll presumably be there for a few more. This assault into the Dragonlands is something that's happening right now. It's time sensitive.
I wouldn't be against going to help.
I could send a message to Godric and see if I have any updates. He and I kind of know each other at this point. I think he would be okay with me sending him a message. Also, he'd be nice to know that we have access to something, access to the Cosmium and to the blood.
I'm not sure we want to just share that information willy-nilly, but it would be... I think he would appreciate some extra help dealing with these dragons. Especially considering that he knows we've managed to handle one of the big ones before.
Okay, just a moment. And she'll close her eyes as she will cast Sending. And it will say, Your Highness, our task is complete. We acquired what we needed. Do you need further assistance? Are there any updates? End message.
You fix the seals? Question mark.
Question mark's not actually a word, Mitch.
I know.
We get those are freebies.
Yeah, I know. That's why I put it back down. Teething issues with... I'm not doing his accents right now because I'm thinking.
Issues is 2 syllables, not 2 words as well.
Teething issues with Midgeman's brain.
The brain fart. Damn it.
You're seeing Midge struggle with words in real time.
How about you say and I'll count?
I struggle with them on a normal day. So struggling with words is just okay. No,
this is English and counting. It's hard.
Teething,
you say I will count.
Teething issues merging armies that were once enemies. Training progress slow. Fleets being constructed. Legerung's land on full war footing. Collect call? He's run out of words.
Sure. She'll look at the others and say, so the armies are still rebuilding and merging together. They're having some issues with that, but I assume that we rank and discipline will be able to figure that out eventually. They have not begun their assault yet, so we still have time.
Good.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sorry. I felt like it was just prudent to point this out. This is time sensitive, and if we want it
You
to
are
go
right.
well, helping is probably our best agenda.
You're right, but they haven't left yet, and attacking that island by ourselves is not really in the works for us right now.
Yeah. One, we have a struggle with backup by some really powerful people. If we come across 3 at the same time, we are
Just
mere
to,
stains on the ground.
yeah, no, just to reiterate information, because it's been a long time since this information was covered. That island, it was revealed to you that lots of subsects of cultists of other draconic entities that were on the run from, say, Atria. A lot of... Basically, they're forming an army on that continent themselves.
Yeah.
So it's not just those 3 dragons. It's probably more in the region of about 300 dragons. Plus then whatever ground forces and stuff. Essentially, they're using the old draconic. So that area that used to be part that what is now an island used to be what it is theorized that used to be an old stronghold of a draconic kingdom, and essentially like the opposite Atria. If Atria was the one for Bahamut and the Platinum Forces and the Good Forces, when Dostros was a thing, this was the antithesis to that. So
Tiamat, or whoever.
Chromatic Mother, or whatever her name is.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually haven't come up with a name, but I like Chromatic Mother. That was
Tiamat's actually, you're allowed to use that name.
I know. You're allowed to use Bahamut as well, but I'm trying to flavor everything a little bit now that I'm having to flavor certain things.
Well, if Bahamut's going to be the platinum dragon, why not the Chromatic Mother?
Yeah.
That's what it is in my world.
Yeah,
Anyway,
fair enough.
so we have time. We can get Zedaar back to Joanna for her lessons. We can she'll look to Breton. Whatever else, do you see your father again if you need to?
No, I think we're fine on that regard.
Well, it might take some time for the Iron Duke to get diplomatic services to allow us to go to the Sodom without trespassing. I don't know what the legal term is for entering a country when you're not allowed to.
There may be another way. One of the things that, where I'm from, in Kensek, one of the things that we were guarding, not just a path to the Underdark, but a tunnel network that crossed underneath the Broken Sea and went to the Sardom.
Really long walk.
Basically a trade lane. There are the dwarves set up trains.
Yeah, it's essentially they have there's a train line essentially that connects the two.
You had to go home for that, wouldn't you?
Me and Mum are on relatively decent terms, but yes, that is potentially an option if we wanted to go to the Zardom.
If you want, we could go that route. I don't see any reason we shouldn't, except for your own personal ones.
We'd be pretty close to that region already if we moved to help with the strike force. So by the time we leave, it would be it wouldn't be too far to remove ourselves to make our way there.
Besides, Valymr probably has personal effects that could get you there pretty quickly in a teleport.
That's true.
You have things from home. It empowers the teleport, so.
Opens inventory. Most of this.
My dog's.
I mean, my ring.
My mic.
Exactly. But those are options. But you wanted to go see the Duke.
We do need to let him know that at least my issue is solved. There is also a couple of things I need to buy while we're out here, so. Why don't you guys go talk to the Duke? I'm going to go shopping for a bit.
Okay.
Fine by me.
Cool. So we'll go with Valymr. Is it Valymr and Breton going to talk to the Duke?
Oh, you know Breton doesn't leave Ruby's side.
Yes, you are. No. She'll insist.
Oh.
Go to the Duke. I'll be okay.
She'll just fly up in the air. It's like, yeah, follow me now. Bamps out the griffin. Okay.
She takes off. There's a whistle and a.
Yeah.
No,
I have a griffin that's faster than you. I'll remind you.
Breton, please. This is something I want to go do. It's a surprise for you. Go away.
No, he wouldn't. I'm not gonna ask for a persuasion check. God, that's.
Roll one.
I will
anyway.
burn it.
She's got 20
I
charisma.
will ask for a persuasion check.
20 charisma plus 11 or something, right?
I'll burn teleport just so he can't follow me if he's going to be insistent about it.
Roll a persuasion check. I just
Actually,
want to see what the roll would be.
I'm kind of, yeah.
I mean, no. Go ahead. No, let's fuck this up this bad. Roll teleport, get a miss line, and just end up on the other side of the world.
No. I know actually where she's going to go. If you, ooh, tempting.
No, it's fine. If you insist several times, he'll not be happy about it. But I suppose he
I'll be
will
back
have to.
Tomorrow.
You all have rooms at the Festung as well, so that is where you're staying. You will all be able to re-meet there. That's totally fine. But Breton and Valymr, after a begrudging argument of no, I'm not going. No, you're going. You know, and Valymr just like tapping his foot by the door. You two head back to the Festung. It's only been about a day and a half since you left. It's still under very heavy guard. But there is an officer on duty today that recognizes you both, and you are shuffled in via the portcullis is raised, and you enter again. You also noticed, actually, on the entrance, there is a number of people being checked, like heavily checked, like bag search level checks, going on from. Have you seen? Breton won't have seen these. Valymr will have seen these individuals. They're like the instead of being Star Legion, there's a group of humanoids. All of these in particular are human, wearing very similar uniforms to the Star Legion, with that sort of deep blackish long, but they have like deep blackish long leather coats over their armor, like almost like a coat of arms, not coat of arms, coat of plates, but like duster. And they have, some of them are wearing like almost musketeer like hats. And you notice they don't have swords, they don't have weapons, but they do have wands like readied in like holsters. And you would know this to be the group that are particularly in charge of dealing with what Legrand's-Lamb deems as rebellion manga, or rebellious mages, those who do not conform to the quite strict rules this nation has about dealing with, because whilst being a technological haven, they only allow it to go so far. Like, there are some strict things that you can't do as mages in Legrand's land. They're all about advancement, but it's all about safe advancement. And these are the people that tend to hunt down those people. You would have seen them, Valymr, when you entered, because they also double up as the main force of border agency here. And you had to go through a lengthy admin process the first time you entered Legrand's land. And there was a member of them there, as well as
Yes,
I believe the commander of the Star Legion was there in the end as well. But yes, so you see these people. They seem to be checking a group of probably either minor nobles or like rich merchants that are entering the Festung. But you're not searched. You're set through the main portcullis rather than one of the side doors. And there's a couple of grumble people in the line that are like, what the fuck, how did I get this? You know?
Out of curiosity, before when we were stopped, would flashing that seal, like the purple like soul gem thing that we were given, would that have like eased the passage beforehand?
Well, the fact that the one that would becomes your Crystal Knight of Lagerung's land, yes, that absolutely would, because that's essentially like that's like flashing an order of the Garter to the British military, and they'd be like, okay, fair.
It's on my armor, maybe.
Okay. But anyway, you two enter inside. After you all forced him to take some days of rest. As well, you find the Duke in the main chambers. You find him up. So this will be Breton, Valymr, and Zedaar, I'm guessing as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say Zedaar's probably along here
yeah,
too.
So Zedaar would definitely know this as well. Would know what they were. But you're in, say, the main Duke's. He's not got the workshop extension open. It's just the living quarters, and you find him. You find him actually standing by there's the big window. You've seen these window screens before, where it's like it is a window of what would look like on the outside, but it's actually just solid wall behind it, because an actual window would be structurally bad for the side of a volcano, and a giant castle. Tends to be a weakness in a castle, windows. But you see the Duke standing there, and he's in sort of, relaxing clothes. Fine clothes, but not like he's meeting anyone other than friends at this point. But you see him, like, with his metal arm, utilizing his metal arm, you see, like, above his palm, the rod of Cosmium that you guys got. And he's, like, floating it in his arm, floating it in front of you.
Have you gotten any rest since we last met?
He turns, yeah, I have been keeping rested. I would not want to undertake the ritual as of yet. I'm still not quite on top form for... Isn't it beautiful? The metal is so wondrous that only gods have been known to make it. He's just like, and then it like hums down as it like stops levitating and falls into his metal arm. You hear like a ting as metal on metal clicks. There's a resonance to it. Like a musicality. It is most unique. I have never seen Cosmium in such quantity as this. It's beautiful. And he puts it back in like a leather, like a what seems to be like a box, a cushioned box, and then he clicks and it locks. And then you also see like the seam of the box completely seal, and it's like there's no visible opening to the box anymore. As like the metal of the box like liquefies, like what's the was it the T-72 in the Terminator where it was made of liquid metal? It's kind of like,
T-1000.
T-1000. Sorry, yeah, you're right. The like T-1000 metal like melds to cover, like to almost reform the box around the thing. So, what can I do for you all?
Well, we had just come back from dealing with Ruby's issues. That's
she
all
is not
solved.
with you. Is everything okay? Good.
She's
well.
fine.
Okay.
Apparently, she wanted to see to something and insisted that we come here without her.
Okay.
But before we're off to go to the Zardom to look for more of these forges, maybe get some more information, we brought Zedaar, who should not have been very hard to spot.
No, I was referring to all three of you. How are you, Zedaar? It's been a while. Sorry, I'm very distracted of late. There's a lot going on, and you know me, I get into my own world on the best of times.
Say you've not been taking care of yourself would be an understatement. If I imagine Joanna had seen you like this, she would be throwing a fit.
I understand why you and my daughter get along. He kind of like he just gives you a yep, that's Zedaar. Please, can I get any of you anything?
No, I think this is more just a formality to update you on the situation. That was resolved. We are still planning on looking into the forges and moving to the Zardom in order to look into the forge that may be there and finding more information that may be useful for you is on our to-do list, but we're also potentially considering, very likely, of moving to assist the Eladrin and the Rian Joint Task Force to deal with the Dragon Isle, because that is time sensitive and we believe that any help we can provide to deal with that may actually slow down whatever our enemies are doing in the long scheme as well.
Yeah, I have had meetings since my. Excuse me, camera.
Camera just keeps bugging out.
Hello.
I have battery, I promise. You lie.
El Gato, the cat.
Excuse you, camera. Hello.
El Gatorade.
Well, there we go. It's come back.
There it goes.
There, it's back. Yeah, I've in my taking of rest, I have actually caught up with some missives from Godric and Eolas. We have taken meeting to see how things are going. As have members of my Festung. We are currently refitting quite a lot of the skyships and making sure we have as much cover for the fleet, the ocean-going vessels as possible. We are the main issue is as you go towards those islands, the seas get very, very rough. Only sailors from Saint-Gem are totally expert at the white race, the white waves. And that was
I'm purple.
Yeah, you are. So we are debating whether I'm going on Skyfleet alone, but utilizing only skyships means we have to take less numbers, and yeah, other than that, it is mainly training going on. We don't think if we are to take it, basically depends on how big of an army we are invading that place with, and working the logistics of maintaining an army of, well, maintaining, as soon as we land, making more permanent connections, whether it is teleportation, transport via plant. Again, the logistics element of moving the combined armies of a continent to invade an island full of dragons is taking some time.
It's that difficult to cross the water. Yes, I can understand your frustration.
What preparations do you make to your skyships to face off against dragons? I mean, I imagine being like, if the skyships are attacked on the way there, that's. I mean, I hate the water, but I think I'd rather be in a boat.
That says a lot.
It does.
We've lost skyships before. Your good friend Jep would know. But
Yeah.
preparations we would make are simple, in such as ways to evacuate at least some members of some ships depending on their damage. We're also the Skyspan shipyards have in the process of developing a new type of runic ammunition. I believe some of you may have seen such a thing. Because we run into the issue of many of the draconic entities are resistant. And we know not which type we will be up against, majority, minority. So we are having to prepare for a lot of eventualities. Whilst we have spellcasters, and that will do a lot of the heavy lifting, we need to make sure that those who are transiting on any of the vessels or, that everyone has a fair shot.
The Eladrin committing any of the ships with the spell-pierced cannons to the cause?
Yeah, they are currently en route sailing out of the Bay of Gold. They are going to be transiting around the continent. I believe a mass expansion is currently happening to the main dockyard in both Seat and on that northern peninsula of Kingsland in Longreach to house the extra shipping. It is proving tense. Godric is having to currently put a lot of his forces onto policing both the other half of his forces and the populations in the local area. They are not comfortable with Eladrin ships docked in their homes. But it is ongoing. Training is happening. Plus, we know not of what the climate is on the island as much. It is similar in temperature, if not colder, than a lot of areas in Longreach. So, preparing, that there's enough supplies and enough cold weather material for the armies as well is a big thing. You would not want to go out with your third pair of socks missing.
This is something that came up recently and bears questioning. The Underdark stretches all the way across the sea from the Eladrin to the Zodam. Are there any tunnels that we could find that connect to the Dragon Isles? That would give you a steady supply line that wouldn't require airships or the sea.
So,
if the other unmapped,
yeah, it would be a case of them being unmapped or at least uncolonized in any way of unexplored. They probably exist. The Underdark mimics quite a lot of what you see above, somewhat in shape, so I would hazard a guess there would be some sort of ancient roots there, especially if it is a scar of the time before. The other thing is we will hopefully be staging more troops on. There is an island, part of that chain where the draconic elements are. There is an island that has been settled by the Eladrin Empire. They are no way capable of housing as many ships as we have right now, but we are hoping that we will be able to essentially jump the invasion force from the Rien to the Eladrin Empire and then up, so it is much closer and we don't have to deal with as many of the storms anyway. It's just taking time and logistics.
I do feel like that'd be a good choice. As always, dealing with dragons, they do nest in caves, but they're the worst when they attack from the air. Being able to set your defenses underground would go a long way mitigating sudden attacks from them.
It is a good idea. I would hazard Eolas would have better knowledge of who to ask in terms of exploring that as an option.
It's worth a look.
No, I agree.
Other than that, I'm not sure if we have much more to report. Obviously, if we're moving through this autumn, due to the complicated diplomatic situation there, any assistance you could provide in getting us there with some form of connections would also be appreciated.
Yeah, oof. It will depend on a few things. The revolution, I think they're calling it there, is
Depends on who it is we're treating with. Revolution or rebellion.
yeah, it depends on where the city's allegiance lies, where the guild's allegiance lies. If you want to get to the capital, I can certainly help. Last I heard that the capital, however, was the population of the capital have been swayed as of late, and causing beginning to seek allegiance with the Golds, as they call it. It's been to simplify the sides of the rebellion. Popular writers and reports are simplifying it to the golds and the greens. Golds being the guilds and the workers, greens being the color of royalty there.
As a question, do you remember what city the underground passage from underneath the Eladrin went to? It was either Uthun or Zibakin, or maybe it was Cathad. I don't recall.
I think it goes to the coastal citadel.
Uthun.
So no, the was it the Zamins? Uthun? Is it? Sorry, I'm not sure if I got.
Oh,
the right one.
Zamin's up in the north. Okay.
Yes, I think so. Yeah,
Train
the one-
good then.
The coastal one on the east side.
I will like relay that then. Say, well, the path we were considering taking potentially heads into Zamin's. Do you know under whose control that town is under?
Let me check my reports. He goes over to like what you've seen his like writing desk area, and it's like he has so many drawers, and then he's going for stacks of papers. Page. What's today's date? Never mind. He looks over at
Has
his
it been
clock.
updated?
He looks at his clock. It seems it is in royalist hands currently. It is green.
Okay. And the capital is green as well, and that'll be where the forge is, so...
It is possible, yeah. So, yeah. A lot of the holds obviously have both an above ground and an underground element, and there is also the hold roads, which not quite as deep as the Underdark, but getting close, connect a lot of the cities, and that's actually where a lot of the fighting and issues you'll see. Most of the scars of this civil war are not above ground. Once a hold is controlled, you won't see like a land army sieging. A lot of it is happening below, whether it be banditry or otherwise. But
we were planning on going in from below.
I don't believe the rail lines have been broken yet, so it would be an opportune time to utilize them.
How long before the start of this campaign has that civil war been going on for?
It wasn't going at the start of this campaign.
Within the past couple months.
It has been going. It is a popular rebellion that kicked off somewhere in the region of when the war in Longreach kicked off.
Right.
You know, when all of the other bad things started happening.
What a coinky dink.
The communists are funded by dragons.
They're not communists.
No, this is. I think this is very much as a. This is a monarchic rule that is trying to be basically usurped by.
The
Would it
guilds.
just be democratic?
The guilds. It's the guilds are trying to
The
take over.
guilds.
And they believe
Oligarchy-ish.
Yeah, no, it's the guilds, and it's basically they believe in the fruitful labor of the working man, and like they have two banners. Obviously, they have the banner of the people, which is the black with the golden tools on it, and the golden tools symbolize the riches of the land are taken from the labor of the workers, and then they have the administrative one, which is the gold banner with the black tools, knowing that everything, all the gold that holds together the holds, and what gilds their great nation comes from the blackened soot and labor of the workers beneath. It is totally not a communist.
No, that's not communism. It's
Not for real,
socialism.
for real.
It is. They're not anarchic in any way. They're just they're a syndicated regime of workers and guildsmen looking towards a greater good, taking away from the tyrannical oppressor. Right? Okay.
Guildocracy.
So what we really have is it's TBD what the ruling class will be when and if they do take power, because it really depends on who actually seizes power and what they decide for everyone.
Yes. And they're trying to deal with the authoritarian regime of the Tsar. That's all they're doing. And,
Aha. Okay.
Naturally. Okay.
Well, now with that bit of light commentary,
So it's Tsar Peter, right? That's the
Hold on, let me find it. Shall I find the name of the Tsar?
it's Tsar Belladora.
The Tsarina. I think that's his daughter.
Tsar. Just had it.
Oh, yeah.
Tsarina Belladora Steelforge.
Ah, yes, that might actually be right. You might well be right.
I have it in the handouts right here. She was at the
Yes,
she was at the
was.
conference.
Was she the ruler, or is that ruler's family?
I'm double checking.
I don't know if Tsarina is a inherited term. Because I'm not sure if Tsarina is a inherited term or if that's a gendered term.
That's gendered in real world.
Then that would mean that she would be the ruler, not the descendant of the ruler.
No, I mean in real world, the wife of the Tsar was also Tsarina. I don't know how it translates to fantasy, but
Yeah. So, because it's all here, yeah, because we have Tsarina Belladora Steelforge, Vondrak Mathor, Tynum Drobok, Darmend Fozakork. Those were the Tsardom. I don't know how many of those survives. We know Belladora did. And then there was the Free Guildsman Republic of Dwarven Holds. That was Hillstone, Iron Gates, Grisbane, Greyboot, and Cragbarrel, and we were told they did not survive.
Yeah, they got pretty obliterated, sadly. Yeah, they were close to the blast radius, put it that way, of the wave coming in. And they also didn't run towards the exits. They just got out of dodge and they ran through the kitchen, which was a dead end.
Also, a friendly reminder that the Zagreb oligarchy also sent a delegate. It was the Shaman Pork Scratchins.
Yes, Shaman Pork Scratchins, indeed.
did he make it out?
I think he did. I think he's one of the ones that ended up with you guys.
That checks out. I think he did get through with us. Yes.
Yeah. No, yeah, that is the she is the current ruler of the zone.
All right. Well, I think that covers pretty much everything we need to do. I guess now we bide what time we have, rest, and get ready for this preparation. Obviously, you probably want to get in contact with your mother, Valymr, see what organization can be made for that. If she wants to contact Eladrin, speak with him about what you could do to find alternatives to find the Dragon Isles on top of everything, or what specialty they might need in securing any dangerous areas of the Underdark since it is unexplored. They're going to use it for caves. Do you have any idea how long this preparation is taking? Like, is it going to take weeks, months for these ships to sail around the Golden Bay to...
The earliest we think that we'll be able to get people... The problem is... If the dragons are as good as infiltrators as they are, that is the third element to all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And why there is now a lot of mistrust as well still of the Eladrin's people is that a lot of fake creatures are now having to be employed to check cities for infiltrators, trying to contain messages, whether they be draconic or trying to make... We're trying to lessen as much information gets back to the draconic island as possible. And that is taking a lot of energy and effort, but we're trying to buy ourselves as much time as possible. Because either way, they're probably going to know we're coming. So we would rather be over-prepared than under-prepared. We estimate that minimum of 2 months, maximum of...
longer?
Because there will be, there is a point where it becomes too late. But at the same time, we are limited on a question mark of time, because whilst we think all of the seals are currently safe, who knows if they speed up their own operations to assault another one.
2 months gives us a lot more time to work with.
Yeah. We are not planning on going into this without a without a fully fledged plan and a strong force, because this will take everything we've got. Because the fate of not only our sovereign lands remains in the balance, but possibly the fate of Elendor itself. Therefore, we do not want to screw it the fuck up, basically, to use our workman's vernacular.
Fair enough. I think that's everything. I can't think of anything else.
Would you like me to wait for you to have investigated the other forges before we attempt to create an object that we can turn into a seal?
If we can find information that's going to make it easier, guarantee our chances of success better.
And we'll be able to send you a message to relay any information that we find. Unless that information is like a whole ass book. But
Then I would request something of you. I'll keep one of the components, but you take the other. I do not trust myself to hold back at the chance of making something if this goes on for too long. And also putting the entire fate of Elendor on this singular location, both with the fact that there is now a seal here and also the possibility of us both the components to make a new one, as far as we know. If any of that information whatsoever makes it out, somehow, I feel it best that we limit how much of the world we commit to the end by this one festoon falling, though it never has. I'm anxious and conscious of that fact, that it is a weakness. So, I offer you this metal box. that cannot be opened unless you are an extremely good mage with a refined art of knowing how metals work. You will not be able to open this, but in it is the cosmium. I will keep the blood. That way, I will not be compelled, tempted to tinker with it. And also, should we lose one, we do not lose the other.
I think
I don't know.
the cosmium is they're both pretty irreplaceable, but I feel the cosmium is slightly more replaceable.
If I knew of another source of cosmium, I would definitely have found it.
But this might be completely unique blood.
We have a couple of other places we could try to look for it, but yes, this also could be completely unique blood. But I'm not a blood mage, I am a metal mage.
We'll take the metal.
Blood does have iron in it.
No.
So maybe I am a blood mage.
He had a deficiency.
Yes, I'm very bad at getting my vitamins. Well, yeah, if as always, if there is anything me and my people can do for you, do let me know.
I think that's about good.
Okay.
Room for the night, and then we'll probably be off in the morning.
Okay.
So I think we just cut to Ruby.
Yeah, sure. So, Ruby, what is it you're doing? What are you looking for? You are shopping?
Going to Ate.
You're going to Arte?
Yes.
Okay. Teleporting to Arte?
Yes.
Okay. Whereabouts in Arte are you teleporting to?
Mom's house.
Okay.
I'm assuming I don't need to make a roll for that one.
Oh, well, it'll be your aunt's house. Because that's where your mother's been staying.
I have Mom's ring, so...
Yeah. You're going to your mother at your aunt's house?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Sure. The wind picks up. It's raining heavier here than it was in Legoland Slang.
Just getting dumped on.
So it's like you land in a puddle on the cobbled street, rain lashing it down, thunderstorm in the background. It's a summer storm as well, so it's a spring storm as well, so it's humid as hell. It's like a Louisiana rainstorm.
Yeah. She's just, it's okay, I'm alright, going inside.
Instantaneously when you arrive, it's like the household guard like instantly is like, oh. And this just puts up like a little parasol to shelter you as you go towards the door.
Thank you. Yeah, she'll go in. She wants to go say hi to Mom.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll get there. She'll see the sister as well, presumably.
Yeah, it is your aunt that answers the door.
Auntie?
This is a surprise.
Yes. I'm just looking to see my sister and my mother. Tell them some things that have been happened.
Very well. They are upstairs. There's a look of shock to her as you're at the door. Okay. Yeah, very well. Your mother is upstairs.
Thank you. She'll walk in and dry herself off, prestidigitation.
Dry your...
Yep. I've not forgotten the formalities. She'll switch back to Fionian.
Sure. But yeah, it's the same room that your mother was in when she was pregnant. But you hear as you walk up the stairs and you hear your footsteps like you hear your footsteps on the wooden floor, and there's a little creak, but you also through the door subtly hear the cooing of a small child.
She'll take a moment, make herself a little more presentable, a little less disheveled, and walk up to the door and knock very gently. Mother?
And you hear, one moment. And then, your mother sees you. Anrayne, what have you done with your hair?
Well, it's a story. It's part of the story. You are curious. Hi!
Hello. Come on in.
And she'll go in and... how have you been?
Oh, I've been okay. This one is a handful, but you were too at your age, when you were her age.
I completed Father's ritual.
Oh?
Yes. I gave her the chance to be better. And she couldn't take it from me, but she's in the hands of the gods now.
I see.
But I'm back, and I'm whole again. And a little bit more than I was.
That is wonderful, darling. Now, come say hello to your sister properly.
She'll walk over to it. Does she have a name?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm doing German. That's wrong. Yes. Her name is Rosalina.
Rosalina. She'll smile and boop the baby's nose. Doop.
Rosalina Ray Sunderstar.
I also came here for another reason. She's still smiling, lightly caressing the baby's hair. Do you remember Breton?
Of course.
I'm gonna ask him to marry me.
Oh, you, well, there is absolutely nothing I can do to stop you or say otherwise or say, have you thought this through? Because I've never been able to do that. So, congratulations.
I don't have a ring for him. At least, especially not one big enough for him. But I was going to ask, do we still have any of grandfather's jewelry? Or his ring?
I will ask my sister. She would actually. She runs out the room and pottering around for a few moments. You
Who's gonna
see.
pay attention to the baby?
Yeah, I thought you would. But after a few moments, and you hear like a sort of like what's it called, like Snoopy voices down the phone. From like downstairs, and then after a moment your mother returns with a blue ring box, and it is if you open it up, is a silvered like band, kind of very, very plain silvered band with but inset into it is like, it's you're not sure of the stone or gemstone, but it's like a pearlescent white with like almost a little purple hue to one corner of it, and it's so it's like a silverish platinum band, possibly like a titanium, but then the inlay on the inside, like where on the thumb side, would be gold.
Thank you. I'll need to take it to a jeweler to get it resized, but...
Oh, absolutely. Breton is a huge man.
I know.
This was my father's. So, yep. Well, I'm very happy for you.
Thank you. If everything goes well over the next few months, things are going to happen very quickly when what happens. I don't know exactly, but things are going to change for everyone. And just be careful while you're here. And know that I am doing everything I can to help make a world where this little girl, and she'll smile down to Rosalina, won't have to walk the same path I've had to. And Breton is too.
He nods. Will you be staying the night?
Unless you have another teleportation available, yes. Get up one a day.
I cannot do that, so...
Yeah, I didn't think so. Yes, then, I will be staying the night if that's okay. I can go to a jeweler to have this resized and leave tomorrow.
You know of a jeweler in...
Ate, I know.
Ate, so yes.
Breton bought something for her.
Absolutely, so you can definitely get that resized and sorted. And I think we'll go ahead here and take our break. So we'll join us in 10 minutes' time, and we will see you then.
Hey, come here a minute. Do you need royalty-free music for your TTRPG content, whether that be a YouTube video, stream, TikTok, Instagram post? Don't worry, we've got you covered. My name's Alex. I've been a content creator for almost a decade now, and I've teamed up with my good friend Harry to produce 10 royalty-free songs for you to use in your content completely for free. We've tried to make a whole range of motifs with this album, covering happy music to sad music, to mystery music to combat music. And if this takes off, you know what? We might even make some more. So give the Elendor Chronicles soundtrack Volume 1 a shot. It's free to stream everywhere. And if you want the high quality downloads, you can come over to our Patreon and download them, or you can contact me directly at tabletop@themidgemansworld.co.uk as a creator, and I'll just give it to you for free. That's it, there's no catch. And just to prove it, we've also given you guys a user license agreement to prove that you have the complete perpetual rights to use this content. So enjoy, and good luck on your next adventure. Oh, good day. I'm Martin Sanderson, and I'm the CEO of Avari Military Solutions. We here at Avari know that it doesn't take much to cause problems out on the frontier, whether that be from local pirate raids, neighbouring interstellar powers, or even just an unhappy populace with unreasonable demands. Just what is a small to mid-sized regional power to do when faced with these problems? You look to Avari for your solutions. With open-ended contracts, well-trained personnel, state-of-the-art aerospace forces, and competitive rates, We stand ready to help find the right solution to your problem. So if you have a problem, why not call Avari for your solution? Our operators are waiting to take your call, and consultations are free of charge.
Avari Military Solutions. A solution for your problem.
Avari Military Solutions is not licensed to operate within the Kark and Dre Baronies, the Andes Corps, or any Class A combat zones. AMS is a subsidiary of Omni Radiance Holdings, a family company.
When is a story more than a story? When a tale is more than words on paper? When is an ad more than the script it's written on? In the darkest and deepest annals of our own history, worlds of wonder and splendor burst through like a blister made of hope. From the brain that's rattled and riddled with madness, a radiant pustule. Writing, art, that's storytelling. That is the true lust of life. You too can dutifully indulge in art. Like fans of the greats. Shakespeare, King, Tolkien, Seuss, Mercer. You too can indulge through Twitch Prime. Get an extended access to a wealth of knowledge with a simple click, an emotion so small that it could endlessly amount possibilities. Embrace those feelings. Support art. Support the component cast.
So, Ruby, I take it you get a good night's rest. And is there anything else you'd like to, other than go to the jeweler's? Is there anything?
Go to the jeweler to get the ring resized for Breton. Yeah.
Yeah. That it's you go to that same jeweler, and they've already got Breton's size on file, so
Yeah.
they have that sorted for you.
It's part of the reason I went to Ate.
Fun fact: the reason that the material components for platinum for warding bond are 2 platinum rings worth 50 gold pieces, it's supposed to symbolize an engagement.
Oh, really?
That's the pun about. Fun fact about D&D, guys: every single material component for spells is a pun on something.
Why is batshit for fireball?
Because it's 2 ingredients to making gunpowder.
Yeah. Bat guano.
Bat shit for bat wing.
It's bat guano and
for,
sulfur.
Batwing is used for darkness, I remember.
Yeah.
The component for dark vision, carrots. The component
See
for
dark.
detect thoughts
See
is
your
obviously
thoughts.
it's a single copper.
Anyway,
for your
yes.
thoughts.
Penny for your thoughts. Fuck.
Penny
Yeah,
for your
no,
thoughts.
it's a good pun. No, it's not a good pun. There's no such thing.
No, all puns are good. I don't want to hear it.
No.
Anyway,
no.
no, she'll-
Now that I've opened your minds to that, you're all welcome for me just ruining that for you forever.
No, she'll take the resized ring
Mhm.
and give the guy a little bit of a tip.
minute.
Is that going to cost me anything?
A little bit, but your mother offers to get it paid to resize.
Oh.
Good, because last I checked, all your money is with Breton.
Well, yes, and I was also, if that was the case, I have stuff to sell that I'm not using anymore.
Hawking some of your stuff to pay for your engagement ring. Oh, this is starting off fantastic.
No, it's stuff. Well, I don't need the Band of Soul Splitting anymore.
Ooh.
So I can attune to the Spellbox Gauntlet. That doesn't stack with Bloodwell Vial. But I could stack with Olive's Gambit again, which is nice to have a sword.
I can spend a level 1 spell slot on you guys.
I'm not there.
It's ceremony.
Sorry,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Oh, we're not there. Also,
do,
I need
do you
to.
want to? Do you want to have your wedding within 7 days of the final battle? Out of curiosity.
I mean,
Just on the ship going over, just to, so just recreate that. Dearly beloved.
As we're getting wiped out by tsunamis and the dragons flying overhead.
to be
You
fair,
may now
the
kiss. You may
the
now
effect on
kiss.
that is for the next 7 days,
Just
as long as those 2
kiss.
people are within 30 feet of each other, they both get a +2 bonus to AC.
Yeah, they do. No, it's very good. It's so
Not to game the system, Midge, but
In nomine aureus et fili et spiritu. What's her
Right,
face?
The Platinum Skull, I have it in my inventory. I'm fairly certain, though, that is gone.
Yeah, we lost that. That went into a bowl.
I thought so.
Bold. Got you off of the island.
Yep, just
That
making
was
sure.
like a port key.
She is going to sell her wand of Fireball +1.
Okay.
She's
you
going
can
to
come
sell the chain shirt armor +1.
So you want to try and find a magic dealer in town, or you want?
I believe Zorps is in Ate too, isn't it?
there is a Zorps in Arte. Yeah.
She'll go to Zorps.
Mm-hmm.
And that creepy elevator music.
Yep. Speaking of.
Yeah, time to switch track if we're going there.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what's
Yeah,
happening.
let me. I gotta put it on too. So let's see.
Shout out to the Elendor official soundtrack.
Yeah, absolutely. You can get it wherever you get your music, including you can use it in TikTok or on YouTube Studio. I believe it's available, and I believe it's also available in like Snapchat. Like, if you ever want to make a Zorps Emporium based Snapchat for some fucking reason, it's available. Yeah, you go through the magical doors of Zorps. And one of the little Zorps like looks up at you.
I have some items to sell.
Yeah. And it kind of like waddles its way over to the counter. Yeah.
She will sell the chain shirt armor +1.
She's like, it's like putting it into like what seems to be like this mechanical reader thing, like what this item is, and there's there.
She's gonna sell the wand of fireball +1 that she made. And over the table, does anybody else need the spell lock gauntlet? I can't use it. It's inefficient compared to the Bloodwell vial.
I don't even remember what it is.
It's the laser beam gauntlet.
Yeah, it's the Iron Man gauntlets.
Can't use that for anything.
I think Valymr expressed an interest in it, but it was only mildly helpful to him as well. And
on the what? On the
spell lock gauntlet. Let me find the.
Is that the storing spells in the glove, or?
No, it's
that's the.
It's the gauntlet.
They use the evocation gauntlet.
Yes, it's the one that's made from the lens from one of the spell cards.
I just posted it in our chat.
Okay, I'll have a look.
Anyway, yeah, as a note on your sale, by the way, you are presented a like magical scroll. It's essentially it's a massive list of terms and conditions, and it like finalizes that all sales are final. You're selling these things to those obviously you may not any maker's marks and stuff will be removed. Like it's all like
sure.
You provide you maintain that this is an accurate. You're selling this item on accurate. That we do not deal in stolen goods. It's like a massive list of those kind of things. So that's the change +1, the one of fireballs +1, and are you
the band of soul splitting?
Band of soul splitting. Okay. And are you selling the spell lock gauntlet or not?
Looking at this, I think this would make your Eldritch Blast absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Because that would basically make your Eldritch Blast 2d10 per beam.
As if you didn't do enough damage already.
Critting on a 19 or 20. Which if that combines with your Hexblade's Curse, that'd be 18 through 20.
Also,
wait, 2d10 per beam? Where does it...
Because it says, when you fire a beamed evocation spell, the spell's range is double and the power is heightened. You gain +1 damage dice on beam spells cast with this item attuned.
Oh, I didn't know what power heightened meant. That's actually pretty based.
I might use it for Disintegrate, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not going to sell it, I'll strap that to me fist.
And you can use 2 sorcery points, but you don't have any sorcery points.
Yeah. So, well, actually, the question next to Midge. With my version of Disintegrate, making it fire, technically it's transmutation as the original. Can rubies be made evocation, since we also made it fire?
So we can do 11d6 instead of 10d6.
I will
+40.
think about it.
He'll think about it. Then I will think about selling those until you make a decision. I'll hold on to it.
Okay.
Good,
I'm
gonna keep the rest of my
be
stuff.
a very interesting scenario that you were as a GM to player. That was going to be. Are you sure you want to sell that?
No, I'm gonna hold on to it.
Okay. So they offer you. So there's soul splitting, the chain, and the fireball. One fireball. They offer you 4,000 gold pieces for it.
4,000?
Yeah.
I'll take that in platinum, but thank you.
Yep. Cool.
No, you have to take it in pennies.
No, they offer you 4,000. All sales are final. You sign you are offered a quill. You sign the document, and it dissipates into like a black aura, almost like a tentacle wraps it and pulls it into something.
There's no other fire like I just sold my soul to Cthulhu here, is there?
You've seen the conglomerate before, haven't you?
Just making sure. No, she's not.
Oh, you haven't been to
shysting
the
them
third.
anyway.
You haven't been to the third floor.
No, Ruby didn't even go in the first time.
I always
Oh.
thought it was like a. The way I had mentioned it, it was like a circular room that went all the way up
No.
with
It's
like
more
shelves on each.
It's more a
More
department.
departments. Oh,
More
okay.
departments with multiple floors, and then the third floor there was the entire roof was lined with like an eldritch being. You remember?
I don't remember ever going
You
to the
just
third
had-
floor.
You just asked me if I remember something.
Yeah,
That's
Um,
funny.
I think it was Valymr, and I think it was
Zaraj was in here with us.
Zedaar.
She-
I think
she
it
is-
was you. I think it was Valymr and Gourd went to the third floor and saw the conglomerate and went, "No, let's get out." And then Zedaar tried to steal something and ended up as a Zorp for a while.
The last thing I think is I'll probably wait for the Iron Duke to do, because he probably can and won't charge me for it. So I'll wait for that.
Okay.
Yeah, she'll take her 4,000 gold and move along.
They offer you it in gold pieces, platinum pieces, or store credit.
Platinum, please.
Store credit, it's worth 5,000 gold.
I don't care.
Okay.
I'm not getting game stopped by these guys.
Please, their share price is through the roof right now. They don't pay for
So is-
labor.
Profits are always great.
Little thieves that have been turned into Zorps.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be it.
No problem.
After
You-
that, she's going to leave and teleport back to Laken's land with her stuff in hand.
Absolutely. In the probably like the next. So how have Breton, Valymr, and Zedaar spent the rest of their day?
Zedaar's been fine. Breton's pissed off because Ruby didn't come home, and from what she said, she didn't message either.
He's pacing.
Yeah, so she just bamfed in front of him at some point.
I
Oh,
would have
hang
told
on.
Breton
Breton,
about
where
my
are
issues
you-
with my.
Where are
Yeah.
you in the morning right now? Just as a note, because Banff. If she's gonna try to Banff, there might be.
Well, no, she goes to the teleportation circle.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
you have to go. So you can't teleport
said-
directly to
you said
Breton. That's not how
Banff in
teleport
front-
works.
She
Well,
bamped in
no,
front
no,
of
no,
him.
no, no. No,
I
she'll
was
go to the
like,
circle.
oh boy,
No,
gotta
she'll
try
take
and,
the circle.
Okay, gotta try and teleport
Yeah.
inside the castle. Okay,
No,
let's go with
she
it.
is aware that the Iron Duke has protections. She's crazy, not stupid.
Yeah, cool. Valymr, you were saying.
If Breton was open to conversation during his worry pacing, he would have told him about Kensek Keep. If we're planning on going there, he would like Breton to be informed, I guess.
I imagine in the early morning, if he has any amount of stress to work off, he's probably destroying the absolute shit out of a training dummy.
Oh yeah.
But if suggesting that, he would say, "Sure."
He would join you in destroying a different training dummy. This time he's imagining it's his sister.
When Ruby arrives, it's supposed to be next to an old lighthouse, right?
Yes.
She's gonna go to the top of it.
Sure. You can do so.
What's the weather today?
Overcast. It's not quite raining yet, but it looks like it probably will.
Looks up at it, goes, really? Can I get a little bit of sun? No? All right.
The clouds.
God of
begin
weather.
to part.
Savior of the world here, can I get some blood? Anyway, kidding. She will cast a message to Breton. I'm home. Could you please come to the lighthouse outside the circle? I'm gonna show you something.
I imagine he splits that dummy in two. And just
She
kind of
knows the feeling.
yes,
He
I
uses a
see.
level 1 smite slot on a dummy.
No, I just
Ba-dum-ts.
he's annoyed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Fine. I'll be a minute. I mean, he's been training. He's gonna have to clean up, get dressed, I imagine. So it's gonna take like an hour. before he shows up. So enjoy those nerves.
Oh, it's fine. She's attuning to the gauntlet in the meantime.
Yeah. Take some time, but eventually he would come trucking up the stairs. Probably silently thinking to himself that, questioning how much time she spent with her wings at this point, and whether or not if he threw her off the top, she'd be fine.
Hi, Breton.
So, I'm going to ask this as politely as I can. Where the hell have you been?
To go see my sister.
Okay.
Her name is Rosalina. She has very bright red hair, and my cheeks. Or my mother's cheeks, I guess.
I'm glad to hear everything went fine. You disappeared. And last I checked, keeping in contact isn't that difficult to do.
I was planning something.
And I respect that. See, when you said you had something to do, I didn't expect that to be, I'm not going to be home tonight.
Oh, sorry. I had to get this done, and I think you would have survived 24 hours without my presence. As I think you're going to be spending the rest of your life with me.
My concern is more... And he kind of pauses there to kind of collect his thoughts.
She smiles and holds out the ring to him.
Okay. So... I get it.
Are you really
You
going
had
to
some-
admonish me right here? Really? Really? I'm holding the ring out to you, and you're going to admonish me?
Oh, I spent the entire night not knowing what the hell happened to you, so you're going to catch a little bit of this, yes.
Can you... Okay. Can you put a pin in it and wait till after?
And Brett just kind of gives you a look. Would I really be me if I didn't admonish you on the spot?
Could you not be you for just this 5 minutes?
Well, that's going to make your proposal very awkward, isn't it?
You live with me? Awkward is a permanent state of being.
Well, I would say so, because for the past, 5 months, it hasn't just been us.
I know. I'm not marrying Valymr, though.
That room has been really crowded, let me put it that way.
Huh?
Caloris, Soul,
And now it's
some of
Willoughby.
which is still a little awkward.
Soul's gone. Remnant of her power is still within me, but Soul's gone. Caloris is gone. All that's left now is me. And probably a little bit of you. I don't know what bit yet. Definitely not the pragmatism, the stoicism, the lack of humor, the good looks, the height.
You just implied that you don't have any good looks.
No, I'm glad that you didn't. She grins.
Syllables and syntax might disagree with you there.
I have 10 intelligence. Don't give me too much shit.
Yeah. Well. You know, it's something that...
14, I lied.
Yeah, technically speaking, you're actually smarter than Breton. You know, I gave Soul a ring.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her on the spot, just don't make anything of this. Because it didn't feel right making anything of it when you hadn't come to figure out yourself. You didn't give me 1 day. 1 day you didn't give me to beat you to this.
I cast Quicken Marriage.
Breton is going to step up. So you only got him a ring. You didn't get yourself a ring.
No, she didn't.
Breton is going to take the ring off of his finger and basically hold it up to her.
She wears a crown!
I know. His fingers are big. Like it's not that big. It probably could fit around 2 of your fingers, admittedly. I'll take yours if you take mine.
I think we already did that.
Are you gonna say yes or not?
Yes. Are you?
He's just gonna kiss her.
She will kiss back. And probably get rained on, I'm sure.
So, as you two accept each other's proposal, the sky does open slightly. And with it, as the rain breaks, or the what might have been like a little speckling of rain breaks, a small morning sun rises and shines over the bay, casting a nice warming glow at the top of the lighthouse, where you now exchange a moment of love in amongst the multitudes of sadness and shared combat that this entire journey has been beset of so far. You take that brief moment to reclaim a moment of it for yourselves.
Breton makes a silent note to himself to send thanks to Ayer for that one. We did you a solid. Thanks for the solid back.
Thumbs up from the god.
The Morning Lord. I mean, he's also... I'm pretty sure he used to be a... I don't remember if he still is, but he used to be a god of fertility as well, so... I can't remember my writing, but...
That's post-campaign. We're not going there.
That's mixed signals is what that is.
Everyone loses that ability after, a few years. So if he used to be the god of fertility, it's no surprise he lost it eventually.
Different ceremony. Very different ceremony.
I'm Flaccido, the god of men's health. But no. To put the humor aside from this moment of touching feelings, we go back to castle. So, Valymr, you and Breton were training, I'm guessing, outside in like the courtyard.
Yeah.
Sure. Valymr, you noticed a bit of a commotion going on at the gate. Someone is getting somewhat vocal towards the guards that are like, those that are the spot checking mages or individuals for magical property, etc. The security of the complex that was going on. And you see a commotion where you hear a very thick Fionian accent pick up. Seem to be arguing with one of the members of the, I think it's the Messer, or the branch of the Messer that deals with this, backed up by the Star Legion. The Star Legion aren't like arresting this individual, but they're like, they've turned at a ready where it's just like this individual, you hear like, a thick Fionian accent, kind of a tattered brown riding cloak on this individual, and very disheveled plate armor. Like, it's like this person has been traveling for a long time. But
I will go and see what's up.
You see this individual is just like, no, I do not have an appointment. I do not have a scheduled reason to be here. I just need to get inside. Someone of I need to talk to a friend of mine. I hear that they're residing here currently.
I don't
This is what you-
recognize this
You don't hear-
individual, do I?
yeah, you don't recognize this individual, no, not at all.
Is he getting a response from the thing, or from the bloody anti-crazy mage person? I can't remember what the guard.
Yeah, the guard. The guard is. I am sorry, sir, but only authorized entrants are allowed into the castle at the moment, or into the Festung at the moment, and certainly none with powers such as yours are allowed in without being processed first.
Who is the friend that you speak of that is residing within the castle right now? Maybe I can take them a message.
Everyone kind of.
Not any of you. I'm not talking to any of you. I'm talking to this guy because he's causing commotion, and I want the commotion to cease. So, what's the name of your friend?
I'm looking for a Breton Montelier.
Where are you? Who are you to him?
We go a long way.
And your name is? I know Breton. I will bring your words to him if you tell me why I should.
Make persuasion check.
It's the one thing I'm fucking good at, gladly. 28.
Tell Breton an old knight wishes to meet with him. Tell him that I will meet him. There is a statue in the garden district of the city. Tell him it is of a knight in his splendor. I will meet him below it.
The what now?
It's there is a statue of a knight in its splendor.
Yeah.
Tell him I will meet him beneath it.
Okay.
And then he kind of like shrugs the guards that were getting quite close to him kind of away.
Didn't Breton have to leave this way? It's strange that he didn't see him. I mean, Breton's not exactly the hardest to spot in a crowd.
Some time has passed. You were trading for.
I have no idea where they went off to.
Nope.
So I am gonna wait for Breton to return to the castle. And I'm just gonna hang around the gate area for a while, see if any more bullshit should occur that might need stepping into.
Yeah, it's kind of at the moment you kind of get like standard kind of a standard push through. It's a lot of just general comes and goings. Some other people kind of join the training that you're doing as well. It seems like a morning drill has also started. Bren and Ruby, when are you? After you've shared your moment, are you coming straight back to the Festung?
Yeah, I imagine so. Unless Breton has something else he wants to do, Sash say. He's very quiet, so I don't know. He's muted.
No, I imagine after that and the innocent ribbing that continues on for about 10 minutes afterwards, just because they have to get to the awkwardness of that situation, as romantic as it may be, they'd probably make their way back for too much longer.
You return. You are not hassled.
Breton, I came across an old friend of yours, a knight, who's trying to gain entry to the castle, and the guards wouldn't let him in. I'm gonna do minor illusion, show his face. Do you recognize this guy?
Breton. You very much recognize this guy. And so does Ruby.
Ruby also recognizes this guy. This would be Breton's mentor. This is the person. This is Ruby's former retainer.
Yeah.
Oh.
The man who taught Breton before he left the service of Lord Sunderstar. This is the guy that quit that actually opened the way for Breton to become Ruby's proper retainer.
Oh. Ruby's face going, oh, so no fun.
He's in town. He's waiting for you beneath the statue of a knight in his splendor.
Did he walk? Valymr, when he walked away, did you hear the squeaking by chance of his cheeks rubbing together for how uptight he is?
You know, now that you mention it, not over the crowd, no. There was quite a few people trying to get in.
You know, if his sword ever broke, he could switch to the stick up of his ass as a backup weapon.
Breton just turns and looks at her. I understand you have your feelings about the man, but he was my teacher.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mitch. I just killed the DM.
He wasn't gonna try and kill Breton. Now he is.
Yeah, battle music starts.
It's like, you know what? No. Now you're gonna go that way. I'm gonna ruin your happy day.
No, I was being respectful.
Haven't spoken to him I haven't spoken to him since before I became a knight. Can't imagine what the hell he wants to speak to me for. But I suppose there's nothing to do but to figure it out, hear what he has to say.
We have nothing else going on today.
Well, then he's gonna give a very hard look at Ruby. I think I might need to talk to him alone.
See, you know it's not fair? Because I just did it to you. So I'm going to be within yell shot. Not earshot, yell shot. Is that okay?
I mean, Brett's got a pretty booming voice. I feel like that's a long way.
There is a long moment where Breton considered asking, I'm sure, how far is Modwin from here? You went all the way to Ate, and he was being nice about it, but he does not say that. He just says, I understand. We're in the middle of Lagran's land. The god is patrolling the streets. I think I'll be alright. I'm not going to stop you.
I'll be far enough away, it won't be a problem. I'll probably practice flying in the meantime. I can do that here, right? I'm not going to get shot down.
Do you say that
She'll
to
look
the guards?
Yes, she'll look to the guards. I can practice that, right? I'm not gonna get
If
shot
so,
down.
then I should really check on Solvaril.
Do you have a permit?
I am of the Bloody Skyfire Adventuring Company. I have a whole adventuring permit.
Oh,
So she
that's
needs a
good.
permit.
Down, though.
It is a subsection of the adventuring permit.
Thank you.
Do you need a permit for personal wings?
We have strict control of the sky space. With all the ships and the shipping, comes a problem if personal aviation gets in the way.
I'll be fine. I need to go talk to the Iron Duke anyway. My armor is currently
Fucked.
ruined. Yeah.
At least from the back.
I need to get wing slots available. I'll find that out. Anyway, have fun with This is, she mumbles something that's probably not best uttered in polite company before she will depart for the Festun.
Sir Reynard.
Yeah, okay.
Sir,
Sorry,
stick first.
I have a hard time talking to a man who spanked me as a child.
So that's
I
why you
won't
killed
say
your
it!
father.
I won't say it! I won't say it!
Yeah, but you don't do it out of, discipline.
Well, we moved right on anyway. We were all thinking
You know what?
but we did not
I
need to
blame
let up.
Jess. I blame Jess. This is all her fault.
It's just a away from
Yep,
that one.
okay,
I said what I said.
Anyway. The instructions, whilst vague to Valymr, are relatively clear to you, Breton. A knight in his splendor often responds is like a way of saying a statue of Aya, because he is a, there's a lot of solar iconography with him, but also he is held as a knight of high regard in the Chevalion's teachings. And you've all lived around Rishin enough that you know the districts well enough. Eventually you get to the Gardens district and you find in one of the parks there, you discover your old mentor sat on a stone bench beneath a statue of Aya. Rain is starting to dribble down again. So he has a riding hood up, and it's you remember him obviously as a like most Chevaliant knights, like in like house colors, but also with their own cresting, and like it's very known for the Chevaliant to wear like brighter colors, like to accent a lot of their armor or paint their armor in regard. His plate mail is scratched and scuffed. Any paintwork that was on is like chipped and ravished. His riding cloak is barely more than burlap. He has aged significantly since you last saw him. But there's still a strength to him. And he hears you coming and stands and takes his hood off. You actually then also notice that he is missing an eye. It's been replaced with a it seems to be like a some sort of polished stone that is completely blackened. I see you have completed your training, and you look to be a fine knight. It's been a while, Squire, he says with a smirk.
I'm not keeping track of the exact days or months, but close to 6 years now, I think.
I have heard tell of your journey. I have heard you have gotten into a lot of heroics. A true knight of the Chevaliant. Fills me with a lot of pride to see you doing so well for yourself.
Wish I could say I've heard anything about what you've been up to. Seems like the years have not been as kind.
Whilst I may have not had a luxurious time, it has been journeyed and it has been successful. I'm sorry for leaving you and not quite finishing what I promised. And I am sorry the correspondence got so weak of late. I was I've been working for the High King on very important matters.
Working for the High King. Well, that's... Am I even entitled to know what you've been working on?
They've deemed it so. It is why I'm here. I joined with a group of other paladins to deal with a reported corruption within parts of Nadathel. Turned out it would be tied to a lot of what has been going on.
Corruption.
It was the king's way of putting it. Well, the court's way of putting it. Turned out some minor villages in the king's land had been infiltrated by a cult.
The cult of dragons.
Well, at first, we didn't think so. They were initially they were actually it seemed to be a cult to the Blight Queen, Queen of Plagues. But they were influenced and supported by an unknown benefactor and cabal, which we linked to dragons. And when the news of the incursion began to spread, and the war and the ceasefire and the heroics you went under, the High King put two and two together and thought that maybe these plagues were due to existing connections. However, I have come to request help, if at all possible.
Well, if Nadathel needs help, it's something that could be provided. The immediate moment, we don't have anything that requires us to rush off and do, so I'd be willing to hear you out.
Do you remember when you were younger? I taught you many of the tales that bind the Chevaliant, the stories. What was your favorite? Who did you dedicate to?
Breton kind of takes a moment, kind of like runs his hand through his hair, scratching the back of his head and really thinking about it. Thousand different stories, forgotten, and as many of them as I've learned. There was one, I believe it was Knight Edelstein. I don't remember his proper title. He was dedicant under a Knight of the Morning, I believe he called himself. That may have been it. He was a knight who dedicated himself to protecting those who were weaker than him. It's one that we can all aspire to do, but there was a tale of him who, you can understand why this is one that I became fixated on. There was a girl that he had been separated from her homeland, and he took it upon himself to guide her back there across foreign country, foreign powers, by himself, keeping her safe from any that would beset them. Returned her to her father, and in the story, at least as I remember it, the girl had become so enamored with him that she professed her love. The father was so overjoyed that he supported the union, but he refused the advance. Because at the end of the day, to allow himself to find that peace and that happiness would take him away from what he felt was his true passion, and that was putting his life at risk to protect people. It was the story of sacrifice, that a knight's duty is to others, not to themselves.
It's perfect that you should choose that. And it is perfect that you should choose to adapt that story. He kind of coughs a bit. You notice he doesn't look well.
Mm-hmm.
He's strong and fit, but that was a heavy cough. I believe that particular night, as many of our brethren do, dedicated themselves to the Chevalier Argent, as you do sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what if I told you there have been sightings of the Chevalier?
Sightings of the Chevalier themselves.
That is correct.
I've heard that some former... The group I've traveled with, there were stories in one of their journals. They met the Onion Knight. The actual Onion Knight. I can't remember what his name is at the moment, but the spirit of the Chevalier who came back blessed a shield for them in exchange. You're telling me that he's not the only one, that the other Chevalier have been sighted?
It seems a few have, but most notably, the Chevalier Argent is riding against this blight that is occurring. I'm about... But there is another level of concern with that. See, most believe that the Chevalier Argent's final quest was to... They were to seek a certain artifact. One I think you may be of some familiarity with its power. In what I've been informed, you are...
He's questing for a seal.
Well, the stories said that he never found it, and found grace and good in his actions instead. The real tale is that it became... The Chevalier Argent became its eternal protector. However, if they have become unbound to that protection, it leaves us not knowing what has happened to the seal.
I think I need to make I need a message out towards my companions. This is information that they are going to need. As at this point, I'm just going to be repeating everything you're saying to me for them. They need to know this as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine he'll just grab like a passing guard, and he will just ask, I need you to send a word to the Wystongjir that I need Valymr and Ruby to meet me here.
Okay. The guard kind of sees the interaction between two knights, sees you, vague recollection of who you might be, and goes, "Yeah, this sounds important." And kind of, okay, I'll run to the festin. And the guard takes off.
6 years fighting against a cult of plagues.
It wasn't all of my time, but it was the majority. Working in secret. I had to drop a lot of pretenses of who I was affiliated with. I took upon an oath of a hedge knight, as many do that I have been working with, to avail ourselves of any orders or sects. But my orders came from the High King himself, and only the Council of Kings knew what we were truly doing. The
That means Brett makes a silent note that means if the Council of Kings knew, then that means when he was talking with the High King knew exactly what was going on here, but Breton didn't. So that's fair enough. Apparently, this has been going on for a lot longer than anybody realized. Apparently, you've heard a fair few of my stories already, so I guess there's not much for me to share with you.
I will happily hear them again, though, over a drink perhaps later. At this point, Valymr, Ruby, you get the news that to be called to this clandestine meeting.
I imagine Ruby's like going to. She went directly to the Iron Dukes. Says, "I know you need something to do." So, the back of my armor, she'll like pop her wings out. I'm having a problem getting these out, win armor, and not getting the armor destroyed. You want something to occupy your time?
I've been working on some new magic, so I will. Yeah, give it. What is this made out of? It's type of. Oh no. Okay. I might need to change some of the metals, but I can have.
Hey, better is better. If you need some gold, I just happened to earn about 4,000 of it. If you need some.
Did you just ask the iron?
Hey,
did you
what?
Ask
Just make
if
it.
I personally needed gold.
It seems polite. You're doing work for a person. And yes, I'm sure you have lots of money, more than I could possibly fathom. But it always seemed polite. Can I make you dinner?
War as well. Like crowns generally went very poor at war.
How about this? How about I make you and Joanna dinner?
That would be lovely. I have never taken an actual commission in my life, considering I am someone who. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, I need to go. I got a message. Thank you. And she'll.
All three of you can regroup.
Ruby's gonna fly in.
Yeah, just making small talk for that time where they're waiting as they both move to show up.
Hold on. It's like very kind of lands, but stumbles a little bit.
That's not flying. That's falling with style.
Nailed it.
Young lady Sunderstar, you are as bold and rambunctious as ever, but it is good to see you. And you are Valymr Kensek, correct? I'm
That would be
sorry
me.
for being so coy earlier.
Hey, if it all works out.
Allow me to provide proper introductions. Ruby, Valymr. This is Elwyn de Reynard, Sir Reynard. This is the individual who was responsible for my squireship.
We've met.
We've met too. Yeah.
It's good to see you again, sir.
I wish it was under more pleasant circumstances. However, I have come begging for favor and with dire news.
Well,
At which point, Breton will just give them a crash course in everything that he's been told.
Exposition dump.
Perhaps we could share this over dinner this evening. I owe the Iron Duke a dinner meal anyway.
I best.
Home cooked meal.
You're going to drink with me anyways.
I
What's
will,
dinner?
but I would prefer not. I would prefer this was kept with your company.
Okay.
Whilst our nations are allied with Grecian and the peoples here, there is already a lot on the Iron Duke's plate, and I would prefer we kept this our problem.
Okay. Well, I happen to know a good tavern.
Tavern would be fine.
Go to that basement dive in we went to.
Sure. But yeah, you
She'll
see him.
put away her wings.
Again, Ruby, you see him as well. He's like, even though it's been probably 6-7 years since you've seen him, his age has advanced almost that of like 12. It would look like the man is tired. He's not frail, but looks a little sickly. One of his eyes is now missing. He's now got like a deep black sort of stone in an eye and a huge scar like down the side of his face. He's keeping slightly longer hair.
I'm gonna cast detect magic.
You're gonna cast detect magic. He's definitely got magical items on him.
But his aura is not magical.
It's not like he's like
Shapeshifted dragon in disguise.
Yeah, he's not a shapeshifted dragon in disguise. But he's definitely got like you notice that there are enchantments on his plate and on his sword and possibly on the eye.
You're right, sir. I understand it's been a couple harrowing years, but surely your time with me was not that difficult.
My time as your guardian and Breton's trainer was twice the effort that I have come up against in latter years.
Offended Ruby noises.
I feel like those will be verbalized.
Yeah, actually, it's probably goes. She hasn't aged a day. She's 20 going on 30, and
yeah. He's got like he would have had properly had hair as well, like as in like colored hair when you last saw him. It's now a thick gray, like deep gray, like it's kind of shoulder kind of like Prince Charming shaped hair, if you know, but like gray.
Some people are like a fine wine, and some people are just like milk.
And yeah, his armor is like there. You can see like where like there's been hammer blows. He's just like not had time to re-knock out a lot of the armor. It was clearly painted at one point, but it's all like scratched off. It's like, or it's like a knife has been taken to it to just scrape certain bits of it off, like in the heraldry, etc. He looks weathered as an individual, but he's still like
a well-painted Warhammer miniature.
He is, yeah. He's like a distressed miniature.
Sure.
But you know, you take.
You would have seen all this with the illusion thing as well. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Some people like wine, some people like milk, I guess.
You take to the dive bar. And he exposition dumps in hushed tones what he told Breton. That around like some of the first incursions, well, he's been tracking cults for a while, various times, but a big one like began to take root in various towns and taking over like certain towns and within all like a lot of Nardathel. He's been him and other assets have been trying to weed them out, purify the land, and have linked it to essentially draconic interference, but also worship of one of the shadows.
Out of curiosity, if you are all up and around in Nardathel, rooting out cults, dealing with that kind of nonsense business for the last 120 years by the look of you, why were you not looking into Ruby's dad at all? Because that feels like a big blind spot that you must have had.
It wasn't a blind spot. I had to leave because I was uncovered.
Man was undercover. Okay.
Yeah. And I did not find any evidence of, in my time there, of any the affiliation with any of the other cults or the draconic problem. I was reassigned, essentially.
So is that what your order is based around? Like that's its deal, that's its kind of focus?
My order, we are allowed to keep our own orders, as in we can be part of other orders. But it is a group that serves the state. When initially I was actually whilst I discovered I initially joined the Sunderstar household just as a retainer. And a bannerman. My cousin being the Duke of Arte. It was a natural fit when the Sunderstars took over that title to have someone of old stock join. But it was actually noticing Edwin Sunderstar's other activities that got me into this group I have been working with. Every now and then, I would go away for sometimes on quests. It was Anrayne's favorite
Literally
moments.
the best times of my time. Yeah, literally my favorite moments where you weren't there.
And I would work on other tasks, other cults, other issues, but my main job was to, it was me finding out about Edwin and his works that got me in, and I was just to keep tabs. If I was the one to be taking any action, it would be seen, it would maybe stop us from being able to prevent it, I think, but we're still...
Well, you'll be happy to know that problem has been resolved.
I have heard. He's a much smarter man than I ever gave him credit for, but I'm glad that it was you all who uncovered his wider affiliations.
We never did find out who he was working for. Which is him, the Duke of Ate, and a few other nobles, but I always assumed there was a wider conspiracy at work. The people that kidnapped Breton, we never found them either.
Yeah. When you all left, some members of my group did go in and continue the investigation. And it seems that Lord Sunderstar was in contact with a certain demonic cult. At least in trade, or supporting one another.
I'm shocked.
It's another
Her face says she is not shocked.
You are all also familiar and have dealt with that, which is again why I come to you for your help on at least Nathathel's most delicate of the cult issues yet. You are also some of the only people that are in enough of the know-how about what is going on with the wider plane to know how important it is to find out why the Chevalier Argent is free to roam again. Because that could mean that there is another seal that has been broken. Or they're on a quest to find it again because it has been taken.
The Chevalier Argent is in like the first guy at the top of the he's been dead for a long time kind
yes,
of guy.
he was the sixth son of Guillaume de Fiona who went on the quest, was the only one who didn't become a high king or become a king that joined the Council of Kings. He continued the quest and he was looking for essentially to find a great artifact which turned out to be, you know, the sword of the hero, and then set themselves to, well, they in the stories they never found it, but in actuality they did, and have been its sacred guardian ever since. So they're free and about now again, which is yeah.
In the stories they never found it, clearly they did, so that it implies that even back then, which is what we found ourselves, I suppose, they knew the importance of hiding the truth from those that would pursue it.
I think they knew more. As in, they had more information than we are working with today.
A plague takes hold, healers struggle to help, but many will perish. This shadow has deceptive intention, tightening the knot of fate as people suffer, leading to another seal's breaking. I had always thought this might refer to the weapon that the Rien was intending to use.
It could be, but this is also...
Well, the plague was never used.
That's the nature of the prophecy, though. You, like...
It
could mean various different things,
Right.
and we stopped the plague, so it doesn't mean the plague anymore. But now it might mean this.
Mm-hmm.
And if we stop this, it might mean something else.
Yes. Well, I will say there has not been outbreaks of plague. They are praying to the Blight Mother. There's been a hard time for crops in certain areas of the surrounding the Dawn Portal Basin, which normally has a lot of vineyards and a lot of growth and highly fertility. So they've I believe the cult is essentially praying to keep in her good. The idea is to keep in her good graces in order to preserve the fruits of their labor and the growth of their crops. Is kind of how it has taken root. Kind of a backwards way of serving them.
A lot like praying to the god of murder so you won't get murdered.
Yeah. Yeah. Bonjour, yeah.
As we've been discussing, this is something that is immediately investigatable. We know we have 2 months before the task force of against the dragons can monopolize. And while we also have your information as well, Valymr, this provides us with multiple avenues to search. And this one in particular, as we fear, might have, well, as is mentioned, there is a seal that might be a risk.
No, for sure, this takes way more precedence.
I am very thankful to hear that you are able to make time for us. We had plans to deal with it either way, but I petitioned the High King to make sure we had the best experts on the matter. If we had them at our disposal, why not reach out?
I mean, you say us, but at the end of the day, it's not. It's not just you guys that were helping your order, your
No, I know.
clique. It's the whole ass world. So
Yes.
helping ourselves too.
That's true, but there are a lot of fires of late, and sometimes other people need to step up. But I am glad that you can make time for us and this issue at hand.
Relying on others has historically been exceptionally successful in all cases. So best off, yeah. I think we can help out with this.
Have there been any signs of portals to the abyss or fissures or cracks opening anywhere in any of the places you've investigated?
Not connected to this, but to other things, yeah. Yes, yes, I have, there was, I think I was in shelters. No, that time was in Baldockshire. I travelled the border, and there were some sightings of some in Agran, and I took to the borderlands to have a look, and yes, they had come across some there, and we managed to close a few fissures, but and then because it was a preemptive thing, we did not want it to get into shelters. Yes, that has occurred.
It's accelerating. We only found the one some time ago. Yes, we will gladly help. We can return to wherever you need us to take you on the morrow.
I am... Okay. We can... Well, there's a couple of places worth investigating. Have you... there was an old... old parish, a couple of days ride from Cormont was the last cult we dealt with. You might find more clues than we did there.
Cormont being where?
You've actually been to Cormont before.
Is it the eastern side of the Nardathal? Is that where we got the boat to Lakersland?
No, so that was Soles, is where you got the boat to Lakersland. Cormont is where you went and shortly killed your first Eladrin outside of, or nearby. It was when you were
where we were ambushed.
Yeah, it was kind of near where you were ambushed. But as
Near
you
the
know,
tree.
Yeah, where you first saw one of them take to a tree, essentially, when they passed.
Oh.
Is
Is it on a map?
Yes, it's kind of on the border. It's like below the Spine Mountain Range. If you go directly south of Modgwin, you'll see Cormont.
We were
it's got a U in it.
We were attacked right across the border.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never felt more American. I didn't recognize it because it's got a fucking U in it.
Yes, Cormont. But if you remember that, like, whilst there's a lot of, like, the Nardathal works on, like, big walled cities and then fields and hamlets and smaller villages that are never listed on the map sometimes have local names for miles, and then big walled city, or, like, in between that you have, like, walled monasteries or little castles. So, yeah, it's like...
It's where we fought Lord Vicatus.
So,
I don't remember that. That was before my time.
There's an old monastery. It sits on the river.
can get us relatively close. We've traveled through the area before. It's where we were attacked. I remember the tree of the Eladrin quite vividly.
That was also you.
Yes.
Ah.
What tree?
The Eladrin, the Autumn Eladrin that we defeated. When they died, they...
Oh, they turned into a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Eladrin was called Lord Vicatus.
There was a guardian with that tree that was brought in for questioning.
Yes, I know the place. I can get us there tomorrow without issue.
Very well.
I forgot they turned into a tree.
Probably.
Mark.
There was also a knight that vowed to stay with the tree for as its guardian for ages, and yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So and then
Potentially.
and the knights in Nudthel found them and went, what's all this then?
So she'll look to Breton. There's other news.
What other news?
Just stares at him pointedly.
Yes. Sorry. This is something that was actually relatively recent history, and I suppose it's something that we can share now. As just earlier today, Ruby and I became engaged.
Your old mentor was drinking a glass of wine.
Same. That's news to me. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Breton is just going to give Elvin a very long look, and he'll say, so I want to point out that while the story of Sir Eldeston is a wonderful one, eventually he did marry her.
Mm-hmm. I understand why you picked that story, even more so now. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Let my dog in before she has a heart attack.
Funny enough, I don't think any of this would have happened without you.
No. She busted for.
He mouths to you, good luck.
Yeah,
the second she's not looking,
yeah. Yeah, he's like...
Why does everybody pretend act like Ruby is the one who starts fires and blows things up?
Because generally people are, on the whole, perceptive beings.
I have never, but the one time, blown anything up on accident intentionally.
Yeah, I'm glad you thought about the way you were saying that for a second. I have never but the one time blown something up on accident, which suggests that every time something you've blown up was on purpose. No,
Okay, that does not. It's not worth a firefight over that. I mean, it's not worth a fight over this.
Nothing to drown ourselves over, anyway.
Nothing ever is.
I could teleport you into the ocean, just so you're aware.
He's just pouring more wine.
Elemental plane of water, we're coming. Yeah.
We meaning you. You go there alone. That plane is literally hell. That is literal hell.
Literally hell is literally hell.
Yeah, no, it's full of water.
There are 9 of those.
That is the 10th.
Thank you for the drinks. I will meet you at the Festung Gates tomorrow.
Alright.
Okay.
Very well.
And he stands up in the armor and walks off.
I've got the Iron Duke working on new armor for me that will hopefully be able to withstand the wings. So at the very least, I need to wait for that to get done. But knowing him, he's probably already mostly done with it.
We might need to take some time and help you adjust your posture and stances to protecting your back better.
The more I've used them, the more I've actually been concerned about knocking things over on accident.
The trick is to not care, like a cat. Me with my much experience of flight.
Okay.
So is there anything else you guys would like to do this evening?
Each other. I mean, have drinks and go to bed.
Fucking Jesus.
I have set a precedent, Mage, and I apologize.
Fade to black. No,
Okay.
I have a sound effect for this.
Nope. Nope.
No,
Nope.
don't.
Nope.
That we got to draw the line somewhere.
Nope.
Because I know where you were going.
I'm not actually doing it.
So the thing is, when I hit that censor button, it cuts all sound on the stream as well.
I'm not playing any sound.
Good. So
You're
We
gonna have to
really-
put us on a delay, Midge.
Yeah.
you head back to the Iron Duke. He presents you with a plate body with the rear arm, the breastplate, sorry. But the rear armor, you notice, on a, it's not attuned, but on a command word, the rear plate turns to almost like liquid metal, enough that you can get when you sprout your wings, and then it will reform around them.
Cool. Ah, cool.
Similar to that metal molding he did with the case he made for the Cosmium.
Sure.
You say sure, but you weren't there. You have no knowledge of this box.
No, but Beth does.
So it's like liquidizes and then seals
Oh,
again.
cool. All right. Very cool. Thank you. She'll hand him a big fat burrito. Extra spicy.
I can eat this and work.
That is the idea. Be careful, it's a little hot.
Wasn't that why it was Zepp's favorite as well? Because he could eat it and work.
That was the reasoning for it. Just hold it in one hand. Well, technically speaking, no, they're big enough you need two hands, but it's
Quickly becoming the national food of Lego's land.
burritos.
Just basically anything you can eat and walk at the same time. Fair food here, really popular.
No, but
That look.
huh?
So,
What you want?
is there anything else you guys would like to handle in Legoland's round?
I imagine Baron, because he'd technically symbolically already
Breton.
given Ruby had already given Ruby a ring. He will take his oversized ring back and wear it because he does need it. But obviously, she still has the original technical engagement ring that he gave her, so that's always been with her. But I don't know if there's anything else we need to prepare or do here.
Okay.
I will go to Valymr and put since I used it to get here. Never mind, I can't. Never mind. I teleported that same day, so I don't have the spell slot.
Don't yet.
I mean, I think the glove he has only goes up to 5, right?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, that too.
Also, it's currently Gourd's.
Gourd has it currently, yeah.
I think Gourd attuned to it as well, didn't he?
I think so.
I don't know. That is a question from Shane, but unfortunately Shane has not been able to attend because life sucks, guys. It's hard for everybody, but it's harder for some others sometimes.
Yeah, I will say as well, if people are wondering why our numbers are so few of late,
We got sick of them. We threw them out.
We've thrown out the old job.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the revolution. That's what the whole.
Oh, you know, they tolerated me, us three, the best. Yeah, that tells you something.
Apparently, yeah, we're the ones that it comes down to with many of our casters, just generally, this is just gonna sort of flip into a message from the component cast. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing in life, make sure that you look after yourselves. And that you take the time that you need to do you before anything. At the end of the day, as much as we're doing it, this is a show. This is a game. And a game can wait. Because life is an important thing to be lived. And to handle. And sometimes you just can't play sometimes. So all of our cast members that have had to run off to do other things, of which there are many, and we love them all. There is never, because I know that just some people that might listen to this might go, oh, there's loads of people just keep going. It's never ill will. It's just I always am a big proponent of you've got to do your shit first at the end of the day. The story will be here when they get back. And right now, these are the people who are free to play, so we're continuing the story with the people who are free to play. And however, in future, you may see a few extra guests maybe appearing from time to time, but right now, this is us. And we're here. And if you're still here with us, thank you. Anyway, cozy moment aside.
I feel like as much as I don't want to end session early after that, like I feel like that's just a great note to go out on.
Yeah,
like
I was gonna say,
I
was gonna say, it would be good to continue this arc probably with a fresh one. So I was gonna say, if there's anything you guys want to do in Lagrange's Land before you travel to Cormont and begin a new leg of your journey, discovering some of the other issues that have been occurring outside of the draconic attacks. Let me know. If not, we might go ahead and end tonight's early.
Sounds good to me.
Cool.
I think the only thing Valymr would want to do in Lagrange's Land is, I don't know,
I would say
win the campaign and end it here.
Exactly, that would be great.
Yeah, just get it done. Yeah.
So yeah, Zethacris
Just attacks.
White flag surrenders. It's done.
Yeah.
World saved, everybody. Just decided.
He's-
I'm bored. No.
He shapeshifted into one of those people at the gate and just happened to, in the stampede to try and get through the gate, he fell over, hit his head, got stamped.
It's like
to death.
actual medieval England. Oh, he died of dysentery. Whoops.
No, it's just an anime where like the bad guy he turns into a human. He realizes, man, there's some really good food. Oh, if I destroy the world, this food's gonna go. And I don't know, like we'll postpone it another 200 years. See how we feel then.
I've started reading this series of graphic novels. I can't stop.
No, he started watching Bleach or One Piece.
I'm only just catching up on season 5 of Dexter.
Episode 477.
Well, like me, it's for me, it's like maybe my evil villain to hero arc is when I finally watch Firefly, because I've never watched Firefly, and that's apparently
he's starting Doctor Who at season 1.
Oh God, that is an ordeal.
But,
Firefly is so good.
Anyway, friends, I think we best leave tonight's episode here. So thank you so much for watching. All we've got left to do is to thank those who have been here. I've been joined by the wonderful Lord Lambert as Valymr. I've been joined by DM Lake as Breton and Zedaar. And I've been joined by Bethany Rose as Anrayne Sunderstar, also known as Ruby, also known as Salt, also known as the Aspect of Chloris. We'll be back next time.
Not anymore.
Next week, remember, but we will be back next time, and we'll see you next time. Bye now. I said next time way too much then.
So next time, we'll be here next time, and next time will be in 2 weeks from next time.